Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special edition of Nat20Hot, a Sunday edition. Because who needs football and fantasy football when you could have just plain fantasy with your friends? We are here to play Dungeons and Dragons. I wrote that, I worked on that one for a while. And if you're joining us for the first time on our 78th session, we couldn't be more than happy to have you here. We are a group of friends who like to play Dungeons and Dragons together, and because we will not be playing on our usual day of Wednesday, the 7th or whatever day that is, I think it's the 6th actually, we're here today, and we can't be happier that you've decided to join us. We are a group of friends who do this for fun, but we also do it for the children. You can check a link in the chat. It is the season of giving officially now. I've been saying that for months, but I think we're really in it now. And so if you find it in your hearts and your wallets, you can donate to Extra Life, which is a wonderful charity that supports America's children's hospitals, funding critical and life-saving care for children who desperately need it. We've been doing this for a couple of years now, and we couldn't be happier with the results. Well, we actually could be this year. So if you want to go ahead and drop some dollars there, that'd be much appreciated. But beyond all that, let's go ahead and get to a recap of our last session because when we last left the party, they had finally decided to bid Hylasera a fond farewell. They had accomplished much in the city, attending galas in their honor, scouting out the palace, almost killing Branwen's sister, and actually killing the arch nemesis of Willem, Gwen the Hag, and finally putting the Moonlit Coven to an official rest. After a brief conversation with a trapped goddess, Azaleus, or god, the parties finally decided to part ways with the city, but promising the king, Amar, to return to his aid in his effort to rescue his daughter from the Tower of Draken Voss after a quick visit to the Winter Court, where they believe they'll be able to gain some leverage on Voss, as well as find a potential missing champion and a potential ally of Randy. Kicking off and departing off of the backs of Loney Griffins, they flew south, with a pit stop at the Ebon Lake in their future, a place of ancestral ties to both the material and Fey planes, and Branwen's new place of oversight. Arriving at the fabled lake, though no one but Branwen could see them, Branwen engaged with a mortal of the material plane who sought entrance into the Feywild so that he may visit with his Selkie lover that he had met many years before and inevitably returned to the Feywild. Granting him access, he set off on his way, much to the chagrin of Willem, who ended up in a bit of a we'll call it a tense conversation with Branwen over her new role as Lady of the Ebon Lake, and perhaps questioning its importance in their order of priority of the many things that the party has to do over the next couple of days and weeks. Despite the tension and some even unhappy vibes from Cena, who has her own history with the Ebon Lake, the party reboarded their griffins and headed further south in the interest of headed towards the Winter Court until they were ultimately pulled down into a forest, the Milkwood Grove, outside, or rather on the border of the Spring Court, which they were flying over. After a completely ignorant uh, audience of a beautiful musical performance by a group of frogs and grung people known as Reb Whack, they challenged a trio of peculiar spiritual individuals before they were allowed to leave, leaving with a ribbon of starlight, whose purpose and long-term impact remains unknown. But suffice to say, they left the Spring Court with some very icky vibes. Until finally they boarded their griffins once more and decided that a little town on the coast required their attention, that of Hapsfields Landing, a town where they know that their bounty has been posted for them, as they were previously being chased by a sister duo of bounty hunters in the interest of bringing either Randy or Branwen for the most sizable reward, Willem or Dunk for a still very sizable but less reward, or Cena for a paltry sum, to the Rye Smile, a tavern in the ramshackle, a bit, rough and tumble town of Hapsfields Landing on the coast of the southern tip of the Feywild, south of Silverhaven and just to the west, or east rather, of the Spring Court. So on the backs of your griffins, where we now find ourselves, you're kind of soaring through the sky, and you can begin to kind of see Hapsfields forming in the distance. There is a large, kind of wild city that Bramwin identifies but is not your destination. Instead, it is the town of Hapsfields, which lies on the coast. It's nothing more than a few buildings kind of like propped up on the shoreline. Um, and you can kind of see it from a distance. And as your griffins begin to descend, you can see just how rough and tumble it is. Most of the buildings look unoccupied. You can see kind of the dots from your current altitude. They look a bit like ants wandering around on the surface, and that many of the docks that reach out into a very tumultuous sea are decrepit and likely not in working order. Each of you can make a perception check as you begin your descent downward. It is probably late morning at this juncture.
I still have a disadvantage.
Yes, Willem, Cena, and Branwen
I
have
don't see shit.
a level of exhaustion and thus have disadvantage on ability checks.
13.
7.
I rolled a natty one.
16.
Okay.
Dang.
Willem and Randy, you can kind of see as the town of Hapsfield comes together. In the distance, you can see, though the sea is quite tumultuous and it looks quite honestly positively dangerous to sail across. You can see kind of the faint outline of a mountain range cutting up through the clouds far off in the distance. So you get the sense that this is a strait of sorts that separates the mainland Feywild from the Winter Court. But what you also see beyond the town of Hapsfield is something of like a boneyard of ships. So there are a lot of like wrecks that have kind of been blown up onto the shoreline, all in varying states of disarray. So where would you like to land?
Who was the one that saw
Um,
stuff?
Randy and Willem.
Yeah. We know where we're supposed to go. It's a bar named the Rye Smile. So maybe there?
You're just
Or
gonna
that's where the
land.
bounty was taken?
You're just gonna land the griffins outside the Rice Mine.
That seems like a dangerous idea.
It also seems like a way to make a statement.
Yeah, I think we should do that.
All right.
Lead the way then.
I'll have you make an investigation check to attempt to discern which building is the building you want to land in front of, and that could be Randy or Will.
Oh shit.
Well, Randy's not exhausted, so Randy should probably do it.
I rolled pretty good too. That's gonna be a 19.
Okay. Very with a relative ease, you're kind of looking amongst the buildings. Most of them seem in such states of disrepair that you would be hard pressed to imagine anything actually being able to live or sustain themselves in there. And so you kind of your eyes gear towards like one of the most well put together buildings in this uh, group of shacks. And though you are not on Griffinback, the rest of you kind of follow Randy's lead as you kind of Randy. It's still taking you a bit of time to get the hold of landings, like your wings beat almost a little bit too frenetically. And as you hit the ground and kind of like steady yourself, there is a what appears to be a drunken individual kind of sleeping in front of, like beside the door of the Rye Smile. Get you kids! And they return to their slumber as the griffins beat their wings down, and inevitably kind of land on the ground by the tavern as well. It's on the edge, creaky, sagging exterior, seems dimly lit inside.
Should we have a little discussion about how we're gonna handle this?
Yeah, I think it's probably smart.
Yeah, how are we gonna handle this?
So we know that. So the people in there are the ones that are trying to collect our bounties, right?
I believe the bounty was posted here
Yeah.
and taken up by those two Spring Court sisters.
It might not
So
be exactly somebody in this establishment that actually posted it. It could have been somebody anywhere else.
You think they'll just give us the money if we appear?
I absolutely think that you and Branwen should walk in there with the rest of us and be like, "Hey, we're here to turn ourselves in. Give us
I
money, please.
super don't want to do that.
I would do that.
Are there any wanted posters that I can see, just like on the outside?
Make an investigation check.
Uh, 13.
There is a job board that is kind of kitty cornered to the tavern, so you kind of have to walk around a little bit and head towards the side. And there is like it's in terms of like cities that you've been into, it's a very poor excuse for a job board. It's more like a few pieces of driftwood kind of planked up against a stake that's been driven into the ground. And in addition to a number of posters for crew members wanted, like people like advertising to join a shipping crew, posters advertising to kind of stop by what did I call that? The Gloaming Grotto, which is you can very quickly ascertain as a fence of sorts. And there is indeed kind of dead centered, nailed into the board, the exact same bounty poster that you have a copy of, that is unmistakably the five of you.
Let's just take that down real quick.
Yeah, I say we take it and get our money.
I feel like that's a really great way to get everybody in that bar to instantly attack all of us.
Oh, there's another thing we could do. I saw this scroll called Star Wars Return of the Jedi, where one person disguised themselves and then uh like handed over one of their compatriots. So maybe one of y'all could like disguise yourself and pretend to collect the bounty on us.
Is
do,
that
Could do.
do we think that
not going to get us all attacked?
one of them thinks that one person could take all five of us?
Also, it would only be four of us if one of us disguised itself.
That's true. Who's not important
I
enough?
think that you should do it then, Cena, since you're worth the least
Okay.
Cena kind of
monetarily to this one person.
grimaces and just goes, I'm going to look past that and understand what you meant to say. And I could do that if that's what you want to do. I don't,
We could always just like send one person in like claiming a bounty of somebody
Just
just to
scout
read
it
the
out.
room. Yeah.
Yeah. I also think that should be Cena. She is
I
look,
am worth the
she's the least
least.
recognizable of all of us.
Really?
Am I wrong?
Okay, so I think it's down to me or Willem to turn in the bounty.
Yeah, I could do that. In disguise.
Yeah.
Okay. I will cast disguise self on myself and look like Laserhawk.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so what is the plan exactly? I definitely lost the
um
thread there for a second.
so I think Willem's gonna quote quote turn in Cena for the bounty to try to figure out what the heck's going on, and then the rest of us aren't doing that.
Or why don't I just
uh
walk in there and say I have all of yous and we meet outside town or something like that?
That feels unlikely to be believed. I'm sorry, like you're just one guy.
Yeah, well, I'm the best damn bounty hunter this side of the Ebon Lake.
Damn, this Laserhawk guy sounded super cool.
how about
No, this is a good plan. Let's just do this.
I think it makes
okay,
sense.
I
We
could
have,
also
we have to
lie to them
hide.
and say I have a whole gang of associates who rustled up the bounties and then they're holding them somewhere for the bounty offerer's convenience at a secondary location.
okay. seems reasonable. I guess. I just don't have any other ideas. I'll hang out toward the back of the building just in case, like, just keeping
Shit
my eyes
goes
out.
awry.
Yeah.
Nice. You can see in the sign above the door that it's spelled RYE, like the liquor,
Oh
and
my
Y,
god.
WYR, like a smile.
Oh, I didn't even realize I was doing something there.
So, Branwen's going behind the tavern. Willem's going into the
And I'll
tavern
be stealthy.
with Cena as a signal that he has the rest of the group. And Randy and Dunk, you two are.
I guess we need to like hide. Is anybody can? 'Cause Randy made a pretty big entrance. Is anybody looking at us like, hey, that's obviously the guy from the poster?
The town is quite deserted, from what you can tell. You can hear,
Okay.
like not commotion, but you can hear conversation happening inside the tavern. Um, and then the only
Here,
person
do you want me
who's
to make you two invisible?
You could also just hide behind a barrel or something.
Yeah, I'll chill with Branwen back there, you know.
Dunk, do
Yeah.
you want to be invisible?
I don't think I need to be invisible. I appreciate the
Okay.
offer.
All right, ready, Cena? Blondie.
oh,
That seems like
Don't call
something
her
you
that.
would say, right?
Hey,
No.
wait, do we want to tooth this up?
Oh yeah.
tooth. Oh, that's very clever.
Who wants it?
I don't want to.
I'll take it.
No.
Okay.
So gross.
Branwen, Randy, and Dunk have to make stealth checks. Cena is making a performance check to seem bountied. It's not bad, actually.
Oh yeah. I should like I don't know. Put your hands behind your back or
You
something.
will do nothing of the sort.
Well, that's what a bounty hunter would do, but if you insist.
Make a persuasion check.
I can always cast like a minor illusion to. Wait, do I
That would
have
be a
that?
hot nat 1 with my advantage is a 7.
You have disadvantage right now.
Oh yeah, I meant with my modifier.
Oh, okay.
This is already going so poorly.
Cena like points at Branwen and says, "Yes, do that instead, so I can still fight back if things go awry."
Wait,
I
do
mean,
what?
I could have had a loose rope, but whatever.
A minor illusion.
Okay, yeah. I'm doing a little minor illusion so it looks like she's got. I'll give her like a little bound hands and then like maybe a bruise or two.
Rad. Okay. And then Branwen, Randy, Dunk, stealth checks from y'all.
11.
I also got an 11.
Okay.
17.
All right.
Hey!
Dunk slips into a barrel while Branwen and Randy try to like post up casually alongside of it and look like disrespectful.
We look disrespectful.
You're trying to look tough, but really you just look like disrespectful. Willem, you lead Cena into the tavern, which is currently very smoky. Like there's a lot of smoking happening in this particular tavern, and there's a handful of murmurs of some of the patrons that are inside, and the air is very thick. It smells very salty. It's a mix of like the sea breeze coming in off of the ocean, but also like clearly there's a lot of like salt pork and meat and as many like dry goods as possible you can fit into this particular tavern. There is a warm fire on the far side that is at least filling the room with some degree of warmth, given that there is a fair amount of cracks in the walls, holes. Some of them look like holes that like fists have gone through. People have punched holes in this
Oh, a
facade.
bunch of Kyles.
It's a rough and tumble place. As you enter, the conversation kind of drowns out, and a lot of the eyes kind of drift towards the door to look at you as you enter,
Whoa.
and then kind of like size you up, and then return to their conversations. Um, a bartender, a one-eyed halfling, that kind of sits behind the bar on the far end. So there's a hearth, handful of tables that you have to walk through, and the bar at the far end. Her gaze kind of lingers on you a bit longer than you would feel comfortable with. And you can make a perception check as you enter the bar.
7.
You don't notice anything out of the ordinary.
Other than the abundance of smoked meat.
Nope.
I will walk up to the bar and just tap on it and be like, I need 2 shots of whiskey. Neat.
The woman looks at you. She's kind of like polishing a glass that is so filthy, like you can't imagine it ever held any degree of clarity. And she kind of sets the glass down, picks up another, and starts to pour a murky brown liquor into it. What brings you here, hun? Who's your friend?
Here to turn in a bounty.
Because she only has the one eye, she kind of turns and looks at a similar board of posters, and she kind of scans them until she finally like locks eyes with the identical one that's been posted outside. And she goes, "Couldn't spring for any of the big ticket items, could you?" To
Well,
which
I
Cena
just
kind of
brought
grumbles and feigns a struggle.
I just brought the girlie here as proof that I had done the job. The rest of them are waiting outside town with some compatriots of mine. Under lock and key, see?
Make a deception check, and you can do so not at disadvantage.
24.
Well, that's interesting. Gotta say, you've walked into a bit of a lion's den. Quite the bold choice with that piece of paper fluttered around. And for the first time, you kind of notice that there are quite a few eyes on you.
I'd like to see any of you shit stains try.
Um, the woman pours 2 more glasses and pushes them back towards you. She goes, now there'll be none of that in the wry smile, not at least while I'm keeping an eye on you lot. Besides, if you're right and you say they're all out there, well, then you just might be the finest bounty hunter that ever lived. What's
That's
your
right.
name?
They call me Captain Laserhawk.
Captain.
Is it not Captain?
You've got a ship then? Says a voice from the back.
It's
Uh,
more of a symbolic title.
uh, he kind of stands up, real swashbuckler attitude, kind of his boots clicking with little metal spurs as he approaches. He kind of tips back a hat, revealing a very handsome
Oh.
visage. And he kind of looks at you and he goes, "Intriguing. My name's Finn. Fishbone to my friends, but you can call me Finn." And he kind of
Alright,
like
cowpoke.
puts a finger underneath Cena's chin and goes, "This is a pretty young thing."
Hey! I swat his hand away. Hands off the merchandise.
No deference to you. No deference to you. Just impressed. Not often we see someone come in with such a big ticket item, even if she is the runt of the litter. How'd you handle all of them? We've heard stories.
Ambushed them while they were sleeping.
No
Pulled
honor
their
amongst
shit.
thieves, right?
Honors for shit stains who don't get the job done.
Nah, fair enough, mate. Fair enough. What are you gonna do with all that gold? It's quite a bit.
Haven't quite figured that out. Might get into dog breeding. Really like dogs.
You can make a performance check at this point.
That would be a 19.
Okay. He kind of looks at you, and he, like looks you up and down, and a bit inquisitively for a moment. He goes, right. Well, Griselda's not wrong. And he kind of points to the barkeep, who he puts up a finger for. Just the next round's on me. You've walked into a bit of a lion's den. Do you even know where to bring him?
Nope. I was told to bring him here. Took the bounty off to Spring Court Nitwits.
You ain't talking about the Flower Sisters, are you?
Oh, yeah, Petunia and Daisy or whatever their names were didn't quite get it as I was beating them senseless.
Make a deception check, but you don't have to roll the disadvantage.
22. I'm rolling really well.
All right, mate. Wow. He kind of claps you a little bit on the shoulder, and he goes, "You might just be the toughest son of a bitch that's ever walked through here." Yeah, right. Well, I'll tell you this then. Rumor has it that fella right there, and he kind of gestures across the bar to a Kenku, who's sitting across from a broad-shouldered half-orc. That fella there, he knows all the biz about who's posted that there bounty. Not all of us are quite as rough and tumble as you might think, and perhaps we don't like putting our skins on the line. When the money's that good, we understand the job's fucking dangerous. So I give you credit, mate. But that little fucker right there, apparently he's spoken directly to whoever posted that bounty. So he says they should be able to tell you where you're supposed to drop him off. He might ask for a little finder's fee, you know. But when you're about to be filthy rich, and again he kind of like gestures towards Cena a little bit, like a little like he's about to be filthy rich. What's 500 gold to a fellow like you, right?
Not much.
Ah, cheers, mate.
Cheers.
He's gonna kind of linger
I
at the
will
bar and continue to like sip on a
finish my
drink.
whiskey and walk over to the Kenku with Cena in tow.
Okay. As you approach, they kind of hear your footsteps, and the half orc kind of buries his face in a pint of ale, um, and the figure in front of you is kind of hunched over, wrapped in a feathered cloak. Um, and he kind of looks up.
The Kenku's wearing a feathered cloak. That's like
The
somebody wearing skin.
There are feathers on the top of it. Otherwise, it's just a
Okay.
normal regular cloak. And he goes,
Ooh.
"Oh, you found her!" And he kind of like jumps up because he's obviously a lot shorter. He's about gnome size. He jumps up on the banister and kind of looks at Cena very inquisitively. And he goes, "Only got the little one, huh?"
Well, I just brought this one here as collateral. The rest of them are outside town with my compatriots.
You're gonna have to split the gold then. Well, I guess there's one way to get them.
Sorry, what was that about splitting gold?
Well, you're gonna share it with your compatriots, aren't you?
Of course.
So what do you need me for? Seems like you
Well,
got
I
everything you
heard
need.
you're the one who I'm supposed to talk to about actually turning in the bounty, Bird Brain.
Why? And he's gonna kind of like jump on you and start to like shake your like I don't know whatever cloak I guess. And he's gonna like shake a
I'm
little
gonna
bit.
headbutt him.
Um, Rolls a hit.
What is the modifier on headbutting?
It's just a strength, like an unarmed strike.
Oh, 16.
Um, Sorry, one second. Oh, that does not hit. So he kind of sees you rolling up, and he just kind of like pushes off of you, and he goes, "It's good. Call me
You're gonna
Bird
need to
Brain.
repeat that, Chris.
You want my help?"
I don't want your help, but it seems like I need it.
What are you gonna offer me?
Standard finder's fee. I believe 500 gold was the number mentioned.
Not enough.
Hmm. All right, guess I'll take my bounty and leave.
Across the table, the half orc kind of mutters, "Not enough."
Well, that's too bad. Guess I'll leave.
Shame. You'll never be able to turn over the bounty.
There's nothing on the wanted poster about who to turn in the bounty to or anything like that.
Just to return to the wry smile.
I'll sort of grit my teeth and say, "What do you want? How much?"
Make an offer.
I did. What do you want?
Oh, well. And he kind of returns to his drink.
You don't know a lot about negotiating, do you?
A voice rings out from the other side, kind of behind you at this point, the opposite table. He's a Kenku, darling. You're going to have to do better than that. They like their shiny things, but they can't comprehend what they actually need. Make him an offer he can't refuse. The voice kind of rings out from a very lovely looking dark elf. Kind of returns to a glass of wine. She tends and kind of nurses a bottle.
I will get down real low between the Kenku and the half orc and say, "All right, here's my offer to you. You show me where to turn in that bounty. You come with me. We dispatch some of my companions, and then I split the pot with you two."
Make a persuasion check.
With disadvantage?
Yes. You're still exhausted. And now you've been pushed a few times.
Uh, that would be a 16.
The half orc kind of looks up from his drink. You got all 5 of them.
Well, this one and the rest of them are in a secondary location, but yeah, all 5 of them.
That's a hefty sum, Mako. The woman's voice rings out again. So hefty, I think I'll get in on this action as well. If you're going to
Well, I don't
dispatch a
remember
whole crew of
writing.
people, if you're going to dispatch a whole crew of people who have helped you defeat what is largely becoming one of the most well-known and notorious groups this side of the Feywild, I think you're going to need some help. You're not going to do it all by your lonesome or with those two.
I'll look between them and go, "What do you say, gentlemen?"
That sounds great. Let's do it.
With the woman's help?
Indeed.
All
Sable is a
right.
worthy companion. He extends a
So,
feathered hand. Mako.
Laserhawk. I do not extend a hand.
Enough. The orc on the other side. Jax. And the woman places the bottle down the table. Sable. Charmed, I'm sure. And who's this lovely thing? The runt of the litter, wasn't?
Never got her name.
Well, human scum don't typically survive well here. It's probably for the best, darling. Cena remains quiet. Right, so the 5 of you now, Cena in tow, Jax, Sable, and Mako, will leave the tavern. Branwen, Randy, Dunk, what are you doing?
At some point, I would have sent Cena a telepathic message,
Mhm.
just asking what's happening.
Cena replies, you can, even though it is not spoken aloud, you can tell it is through gritted teeth. He's doing annoyingly well. And at the end, she replies, he's leading them somewhere. Make sure you tag along behind.
Okay, hey, Randy, Dunk. Boop, boop. And I cast invisibility on all 3 of us.
Willem, as you exit the wry smile, the drunkard comes. You kids get off my lawn! And kind of slumps up against it once more, while Mako kind of like cheerily skips out, and he goes, "We head to Thorny Cove! Thorny Cove!"
Sounds great.
You'll have to go collect your charges. Meet us there. I'll take the girl as collateral.
I'm just gonna send a telepathic because we're following, right?
At this point, yes.
I'll send Willem a telepathic message. I'll follow.
Where is Thorny Cove?
Do I know
For the
where that is?
girl, and we'll tell you. Collateral.
Well, she's gonna go with you, but I need to know where to go. Yes.
At this point, Sable and Jax kind of get alongside you, Willem. And Sable goes, "Oh, it's a little cove on the coast, just south."
Full of thorns, I presume.
No, dear. Not everything is that literal. It's south of the wreck yard. You can't miss it.
Didn't think the people in this town had a great imagination. Sorry.
We can't speak to why things are named the way they are. We're not linguists, darling. The pirates use it as a staging ground to hide some of their stolen loot.
Fair enough. All right. I'll see you with the rest of them at Thorny Cove. Before I go, though, any information on who posted this bounty? I like to know who I'm working for.
Sable, make an insight check.
Um, 12.
Um, you catch like a hint of confusion. You're not entirely sure, but you do see both Sable and Jax kind of look down to Mako and go, "We don't ask and we don't tell, darling. We'll find the signal when we get to the cove, and we'll expect we'll meet them in due time."
I guess you folks do things a little different this side.
And how are things
Fair
done
enough.
where you're from, darling?
Well, traditionally, when you turn in a bounty, someone is there to receive it. There's not all this running around.
Some people like to remain secret, and I assure you, they will likely come if you truly have all five. This is a big ticket. Biggest I've ever seen.
Oh, I'll be eating off these fucks for a long time coming.
Charmed. And she will kind of grab Cena roughly by the shoulder and kind of push her forward.
Hey, delicate with the merchandise.
And they will start to head off.
I'll give Cena a wink before I turn around.
She glares and just like, well, yeah. So Branwen continues to follow, and all of a sudden, as soon as they're out of earshot, you hear Randy in your ear. "That went really well," but you don't see him.
Am I being pursued?
No, you're just kind of standing there as they walk off.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will walk a good bit outside of town and then make sure I'm not being pursued and then drop the disguise.
Okay. Randy, Dunk.
I will also be right back literally a minute. Sorry.
Okay.
No worries.
We'll stick with Branwen then.
Oh
Branwen.
boy! At some point I just send Cena a message to be like, I'm right behind you.
Okay. As you follow, let me get the camera set up here. As you follow, you can start to kind of see it is like about a 20-minute walk out of the town that kind of slopes down. It actually feels very similar to when you were in Dunmarine, north of Hyosera, to find the cave where Zephyron was entombed. And you kind of head down a sloping sandy road down towards the waterfront. And you can see that the ocean is quite tumultuous this particular juncture. And based on where the tide is at, you kind of you yourself are starting to walk upon the water, while the three people in front of you, or the four people in front of you, are kind of dragging Cena through the ankle height water. The cove becomes pretty evident. It is a natural outcropping in the rock. And it's fairly still as you approach. The path kind of dips down, bordered by some scraggly patches of seaweed-covered rocks. Uh, you can hear the waves crashing pretty loudly against the cliff face and the wall, and the stone, even though it is even like to some degree muted, because of the cliff face surrounding the space. Um, they pull Cena into the opening of the crevasse, and you can see a handful of stacked crates and barrels that are on like a raised wooden platform to keep them out of the water that mark the entrance to the cove.
Yeah, I just continue to follow, and I'm keeping an eye out for traps as well,
Okay. Make an
and
investigation.
watching like what they're doing.
Make an investigation
With
check.
disadvantage, because I'm sleeping.
Indeed.
That's a natural 20 and a 3 for a total of 6.
Okay. You're fine. Like as you kind of like you keep your hand against the wall, attempting to feel out anything as you progress, um, and you're just like every once in a while you're just straining your eyes to stay awake, but you're too laser focused on the task at hand, which is just making sure that Cena is okay. Um, you do inevitably see that the cavern splits into two sections: a dry, sloping path that leads upwards, and the kind of like partially flooded, um, where like you're raised out of the water for just a moment, and then you can see that it descends into like a lower elevation once more, um, and like kind of seawater is kind of moving about in this particular section, and that is the way they take Cena, and they kind of toss her down onto a chair, where they actually tie her to it, um, and they kind of just wait there, and you can't hear their conversation. You're staying like a bit back, so it's difficult for you to hear too much. But you can hear uh, Mako kind of like he's very clearly like singing. He's very excited, um, and in a make a history check.
So 1 and a 3, baby.
You don't recognize the voice, but it is not his voice. He's very like what you know about Kenku is that they can mimic.
He's kinkoing.
He's Kenkuing, yes. And you hear him say in a completely different tone than the sing-songy voice that he has had up until this point. Bring them to me, alive. He just kind of says it over and over again. With that,
Um,
go ahead.
how close are they standing to Cena if
Uh,
she's tied up?
they're kind of around her. There's like other chairs that they've sat themselves in. Jax and Sable sit themselves down across from her, and Mako is dancing in the water. The water's about shin deep.
Is there any chance that I would be able to get close to her at all?
Yes, you would be able to ascertain that because you can walk on water, you would not be noticed in this particular area.
Okay, I am just going to very slowly and stealthily. I'm just taking my time. I'm just gonna like go behind her and start just loosening the bindings just a little by little.
Make a stealth check.
I'm giving myself inspiration.
That is another thing that I'll be changing in campaign 2. I learned that you're not supposed to do that. But you can continue to do it here.
I'm doing it anyway.
Yes.
Do I get super advantage because I'm invisible?
No, but you don't have disadvantage. But at this point,
Okay,
you know
cool.
you're invisible and you're just trying to be quiet.
That's a 23.
Okay. Um, okay, so technically, it's fine. Randy and Dunk, what are y'all up to?
So
And Will,
we're
like the
just
three of you are now together.
okay. So they're gonna be expecting Laserhawk to show up. Um,
Yeah, they're also going to be expecting 4 of us plus
yeah.
Laser. Oh.
Yeah, that's a
Might have
tough
been a
one,
little bit
huh?
of
Yeah.
might have been a little bit of a whoa accident there.
Um, I think we might just have to kind of like get as close as we can stealthily and just come out swinging. I don't know that there's a
Not a bad
diplomatic
idea.
answer for this.
Yep, I am totally fine with that. Those guys gave me the fucking creeps. Oh,
'Cause
Randy,
yeah,
the bird guy. He knows the most. So if you could like, when we got him or whatever, if you could like get into his brain, that might be good.
yeah, for sure. How do you know he knows the most?
When I was like, oh, who put out the bounty? There were 2 other people, and they like looked at him, and he seemed like he was sort of, the head bitch in charge.
For sure. Yeah, we can. The other two, if we accidentally ended their lives, that wouldn't matter.
Um, Accidentally, intentionally, not the worst thing in the world. No, for me.
Cool. Uh, yeah. Let's. I guess we can go. I can buy us a little bit of time, maybe.
Sounds good.
Uh,
I,
I don't know how though. We'll improv it. I'll
We'll
oh,
figure.
figure it out.
you know, if you wanted to try to surprise them, one thing you could do is like burst in there with like wings and everything and be like, ah, give me back Cena. I got free from them. And then like maybe I could come in as Laserhawk with Dunk, like, he got away. We gotta fucking get him.
I like that because it would be fun. Yeah. That's a great
And we
plan.
could be really panicked, and then they'll be, fighting you and focused on you, and then me and Dunk and Branwen and Cena could just, we could all get them.
That's smart. Yeah, good plan.
I mean, when they see Randy like come in, they're probably just gonna like kill Cena. But hopefully, Branwen will have her.
They would not kill Cena.
Did the bounty specify that we were wanted alive?
Yes.
So,
You
Okay,
being
well,
alive is very desirable.
Cena's also the least valuable
yeah, they were
one,
very
though.
explicit about that multiple times. That, like, oh, she's dirt, she's nothing. Run to the litter, low ticket item. And I
Sure.
thought it was unnecessarily disrespectful.
Well, yeah. I wouldn't call her that, but
No, but they did, which is not nice. But they're also bounty hunters in a piece of shit town, so they're not the nicest people.
hmm. All right, let's do it.
Okay,
All
so
right.
we get down there, you go in with wings, and I'm like, oh, the prisoner, he escaped, he killed my companions.
What if you tied like some rope to my neck and it was like flailing down like you were like trying to like hold on to me like a
Yeah,
like a kite in the night?
oh,
It's
like
like a
I come in and you're
balloon.
like dragging me in, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah. We could really sell it.
oh, that would be zany. But then how am I supposed to? Oh, and then maybe like I have a rope around my waist and like Dunk is tied to me or something.
Sure. And we'll just
Yeah,
really loosen it so he,
Yeah.
he also gets loose.
yeah. This is good. I love this, guys.
So
All right.
Sure.
Okay.
Right
That's
on.
the plan.
Alrighty. As you all head towards the cave, um,
Do we have
the
any red food coloring?
Can we make squibs?
Oh yeah, like if you got into a fight or whatever, you should look like a little bloody, or like I should look bloody or something.
I
For
would say
sure.
that because Cena maintains a disguise kit and it would be in the bag of holding, you can attempt to spend some time. Though it will
Oh,
take
let's
you.
do makeup.
It will take you about like 30 minutes. And
I,
how long does
I
disguise
mean,
self last?
Um, a it might be an hour, it might be a day. Hold on, I'm
I think
looking
it's
it
an
up.
hour.
okay, I'm just gonna make this quick, and I'm just gonna cut my arm a bit and just start smearing some blood.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only an hour, so I'm probably running out the clock on that.
Yeah, you'll take 6 slashing damage from that dunk.
Yeah, that's fine.
Can I
But
take some of Dunk's blood as well?
sure.
I'll
There you
also
go.
take some of Dunk's blood. Yeah.
All right. While you all make your way to the cave, sufficiently bloodied and cut up, um, which will eliminate any performance or deception disadvantage that you might have, uh,
Okay.
Branwen, you start to kind of like your make a sleight of hand check to see how well you are able to kind of loosen the ropes on Cena.
Beep, 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 beep. Bop, 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 bop. That was my little song, and that is a 16.
Okay. You have disadvantage.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. That's
I got
pretty
good
good.
sleight of hand.
Yeah, you're able to you make some sufficient progress. Like you're not like making it visible. Like you're being very keen to just kind of loosen them in all the right places. But as since you're working like very diligently, very quietly, you're there for a while, and you start to hear Jax get frustrated. He's going like, "Where is that buffoon? He promised us all 5 of them. I say we do the signal now and get the poultry sung for this bitch." Um, and Sam goes, "Relax, darling. It's all going to take time. We don't want to trigger the signal if we could have a bigger payday. And when he shows up, we kill him. It's that simple." Um, and Mako's just like, "Yes, kill him. Oh, joy, oh, joy."
Really not subtle or subdued.
Um, yeah, very different kind of Kenku. And he's more mirthful than anything else. One might even call him mirthful Mako. Um, and
Cute.
Sable just kind
I
of
think only an idiot would do that.
leans back and kind of like kicks at the water. She goes, "The water is getting quite high. We'll leave her here. Let's go wait by the entrance of the cave." Um, and Jax goes, "Oh no, I ain't leaving her unattended. She looks slippery." Um, to which Cena kind of smirks. Um, and he goes, "You stay with her. I'll wait by the cave." Um, and he kind of, you can make another investigation check, Branwen, if you want to watch him leave.
That is a 16.
Okay.
Do you
He kind of,
hate to see him go, but love to watch him leave?
yeah, you do love to watch him leave. You're like, "Whew, one less person to worry about." Though Mako does like briefly kind of like look both directions, then waddle off after him. But he kind of like stops just outside of the water. It's about waist high on him now, so it's like knee high on you guys. So it's getting pretty high in there as the water continues to kind of pull in. You're actually having a little bit of difficulty because the cave is like shallow enough where like you're starting to crouch.
Branwen is not having a good time in this cave.
Yeah,
Is
it's not.
Branwen non-compressible?
Well,
The water.
Well, I'm on top of the water.
yeah, she
Yeah,
she
so
stands on the water.
what happens?
I'm getting squished.
Yeah, it's basically the ground we're lifting up. All right, and then after some time, Willem, Randy, Dunk, you all approach in your circumstance.
Yeah!
And
I'm getting frenzied.
yeah, so I'll say as you approach the cave, within like 30 feet, you decide that this is when you're going to kind of start your performance. So I'd like you all to tell me what you do specifically, and then I'll have you make any required rolls.
I'm going to try to barrel into the cave, shouting like, "You sons of bitches, let go of my not daughter!"
Okay. And are you just go ahead? The rest of you, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say I will be like chasing frantically after Randy, maybe trying to like clutch at a rope that's loosely tied around his neck or something, and then dragging Dunk behind me.
Okay.
But like not really dragging because he's also gonna be running with me.
Yeah. I'll like have a rope loosely tied around my wrists. It may be like kind of my feet, so I'm kind of awkwardly waddling.
Okay.
But it's loose enough that I can kick it loose if I when I need to.
All right.
Um,
So, Dunk, I will have you make a dexterity check. You'll be seeing how easily you were able to actually sufficiently leap out of your loosely bound ropes. Randy and Willem, you'll make performance checks. And Randy, are you just pushing past the first people you see to get to Cena, or are you like gonna get like embroiled with the first person you see?
The first person I see, I'm gonna shoot with guiding bolt and then barrel past.
Okay. I will say that the three of you will technically get a surprise round depending on how you roll on your rolls. So make
Is this a
performance
check
checks.
or a saving throw?
They are checks.
Okay.
So Randy and Willem are making performance checks. Dunk is making a dexterity check.
Do I still have disadvantage?
You were exhausted, so yes. No,
Oh,
sorry.
I thought-
Your work has acquired that you do not have disadvantage. It's just a regular roll. But
Can I have
future
positioned
ability
myself?
checks, yes.
Can I position myself to? I'm waiting for like the first hint that these idiots have arrived, and as soon as that happens, I want to just slip right behind the. I think the orc that's still in the room.
Sable is still in the room. The half elf. The drow.
Sable's still in the room, and I'm
Yeah.
just gonna have a knife to her throat or my sword to her throat.
Okay.
Well,
I got-
the moment that I can tell that they've arrived.
Okay.
I got a 17.
Okay.
I got a 14.
Okay.
16.
All right, Dunk and Randy will be able to partake in a surprise round. Willem, you will just join in order of initiative once you do that. So, Branwen, you can hear a very uncharacteristic kind of battle cry from Randy as he just, you can kind of hear the soft beating of wings. And for a moment, you're like a little nervous. And then you hear his like ruffled voice as he kind of charges in, "Ah, fake daughter!"
No,
Randy,
not fake daughter.
non-daughter.
Give me my
the-
girls.
Not daughter.
Randy, go ahead and make an attack roll against Jax with your
22.
that hits.
Okay, I'm casting it at the 4th level,
Jesus.
and I do 28 damage to him.
All right, hold on. I have to remove some people.
I'm running and gunning.
Technically fly.
That's true. 22, you said?
28.
Okay.
Well, 22 to hit.
28 damage.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then, so that's your initiative, like your surprise round. Dunk. Basically, as you leap in and watch Randy kind of like he's running in, kicking up a bunch of sand and dust with his wings, you see him kind of guiding bolt, and it's just like a beam of golden light just eviscerates this guy's face, and you just hear, and he's still standing when he kind of like grips the wall to steady himself as Randy just keeps running past him, and you're basically like leaping and snapping the ropes off of your wrist, grabbing your battle axe off of your back, and able to get an attack, a surprise attack on them if you'd like.
I will, and I am going to.
Which means you attack with advantage.
Nice. I'm going to rage.
Okay.
Let's pull up that thing you sent me. Oh god, it's so small. Okay. 73, which is I'm in an orb.
No!
I orbed.
No!
Orb boy!
Wait, you're
Free
trapped in
him!
an orb?
You encase yourself in an orb of glass. You roll around in this cube until it is broken by 5 or more damage.
Hamster dog!
All right. So Dunk, Randy, kind of look over your shoulder, and Willem, you're kind of back up against the wall to like push Randy basically with your other hand, your free hand, forward into the cave system, and you just watch as your companion Dunk is flying through the air until he just like basically turns into a circular glass sphere, which is just going to collide with this creature. I will say that you will be able to add a d6 to your damage, and it will effectively like absorb the damage of the blows. You can make a standard attack roll, and like you're
Okay.
basically attacking with yourself as an orb, uh, and you can make a standard
Orb
attack roll.
damage.
Yeah,
One thing about this campaign, we fucking hate orbs.
we hate orbs.
Fuck those orbs.
So that is you said just a regular attack.
You have advantage because you're surprised. You're surprising.
Yeah. So that's a 28 to
That
hit.
hits. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So many fucking dice. Oh wait, hang on. So that is 9 plus 8, 17 plus 7 is 24 damage, and then
The d6.
a d6. 3.
Okay. And you have a surprise round, so you can technically attack again. Because you have 2 attacks per action.
Right. 27 to hit.
Oh yeah.
9 plus 9 is 18. Plus 7 fire damage. So I said 18 plus another 7. So that's 25 damage and 7 fire damage.
Bingo. Boingo. All right. Now I will have you all roll initiative. And we'll get to you in a moment, Randy.
I got 15.
Natty 20.
3.
Don't forget the next initiative rolls are ability checks.
Dirty
Oh.
20.
14.
Okay.
I got 11 now.
Okay. Randy, you said you got a 3.
Sure did.
What did you get, Dunk?
Dirty 20.
Oops. Make sure I have everybody on here. Okay. All right. I have to roll for Sue. She still goes first. Okay. Randy, as you charge in, so you basically fire into this guy's dome. You can hear him screaming as you continue to push past him. And you kind of see the bend, and you can very clearly see Cena where like the water is starting to get around her hips, and Sable has kind of jumped up. But you can also, like, as you're coming around the corner, Branwen kind of materializes behind her, wielding Excalibur against her throat. However, as you charge into the space, you can feel your boot kind of lift up over a thin piece of wire that has been submerged under the water.
Oh, I thought it was flying in.
It's not tall enough to fly. Like it's not a cave that you can technically fly
I
in.
can't like barrel roll in there.
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still a cave. Like there's no, yeah, you
Okay.
can't reach your flying speed.
I understand.
So you kind of lift up on the thin wire that you can, like, as you're charging in, you're basically moving yourself faster with the support of your wings, but you're still running.
Sure.
And you kind of lift your boot out of the water, and you can see the wire above it. And I will need you to make a dexterity saving throw, and actually Branwen and Sable will need to do it as well. Cena is going to automatically fail.
Doesn't she have rogue things?
She's, even though you've loosened the rope, she's still technically tied up.
I got a 17.
16.
Sable also fails. All right, all of you fail.
Also.
So as Randy comes charging in, you kind of look up for just a moment as you watch the cable kind of like tracks up towards the ceiling, and a massive waterlogged rope rope net, comes crashing down along with several kind of thick splintered beams that kind of fall on top of you. And each of you is going to take 16 bludgeoning damage as it falls upon you. And you are all now restrained in the water. Uh, and as you kind of like look up and kind of try to push yourself off of the ground from the heavy netting that is currently on top of you, you kind of see that a pant at the back side of the cave that you're currently in has been lifted up, clearly an exit point that they use to push goods in and out on small craft, and water is now gushing in to the cave system. And you are becoming submerged very quickly. All right. And with that, it is technically Cena's turn. And she is going to attempt to escape from the ropes, which will require a sleight of hand check. She gets it at advantage because Branwen freed her. And she is able to kind of like deftly shimmy her wrists until she is free of it. But she is still pinned underneath the net and the wood as much as possible. And that will require a Constitution saving throw at the end of her turn, which she fails. She will incur a level of exhaustion and an additional 9.
Wait,
What?
wait, why an additional? Why more exhaustion?
She's incurring a level of exhaustion from the water pouring over her, the weight of the netting on top of her, and failing to get out of it. And she basically has to keep pushing herself up above water, and that is what is incurring some of the. Well, it's only a very small amount of 7 damage. And it is now Doug's turn. So just let's set the scene. Mako is kind of at the crossroads of the cave, splitting off in 2 different directions. You can all see in the left hand side where the water is starting to rush in and even started to kind of like lap around your ankles. Branwen, Sable, Randy, and Cena are all kind of crushed and pinned underneath this netting that has fallen down from the ceiling. Mako looks over his shoulder and gleefully claps his wings, whereas Jax is kind of like pinned up against the wall, trying to push Dunk off of him. And it is now your turn, Dunk.
I'm gonna hit him again, and I'm gonna say, "Did you really think this was gonna work out for you?" For a 29 to hit.
That does hit.
10 plus 10 plus 7, so 27 plus 3, so 30 physical damage.
Okay.
And 8 fire damage.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do it again.
Go forth. Set the world on fire.
27 to hit. 6 plus 9 is 15 plus 7, 22 plus 3, 25.
How would you like to do
And
this?
am I still orbed?
No, the first attack kind of like shattered
Oh.
the orb around him.
Shattered the orb, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna like kind of catch him in like the hook of my my maul and just like pull him towards me and just like slam him into the ground with the water rising.
Oh shit, yeah. So Willem, you're kind of again, all this has happened in seconds. So Willem, you're kind of like back against the wall, about to draw your sword over your shoulder, and you watch Randy laser this guy and immediately trigger a colossal trap in the next room. While your friend Dunk hurtles in a glass orb, shattering around, spraying glass everywhere, and inevitably, boom, breaks his knee with the first smack of his warhammer, and then cracks into his skull, yanking him down, gripping him with his hand, and just like throwing and drowning Jax in the rising water of the sea cave. That it is Sable's turn. Unless, sorry, Dunk, is there anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
Oh, I will start heading in the direction of my friends trapped under the net.
Okay, excellent. She is going to bonus action phase step out of the netting, right, kind of like next to Mako, and look at the three of you, or the two of you rather. She kind of like places a hand on Mako's head for just a moment to steady herself. And she goes, "Fuck me!" Uh, and she is going to hurl Eldritch Blast at two at Dunk and one at Willem. So that is a 27 and a dirty 20 to hit Dunk,
They both hit.
and another dirty 20 to hit Willem.
Miss.
Okay.
Reaction to parry, add 3 to AC.
Okay. Got it. So you've used your reactions turn, and that is going to be 10. It's 12. Go. 28 force damage to you, Dunk. And then it is Mako's turn. And sorry,
As a reaction, I'm going to roll again on the wild magic table.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Come on, not an orb.
Not an orb. Let's see. I need to just pin this somewhere. A blue cloud appears above my head. For this duration, the cloud rains colorful confetti and sparkles on me.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
Yay!
So in the chaos, Willem, you watch crackling blasts of energy ripple off and strike at Dunk. And as one of them kind of like shoots off of his shoulder, and you almost see like three versions of Dunk kind of phase out and they clap back in on one another. And this cloud forms above him, and you see confetti ring off in the cave. There's just so much happening in this very tiny space at the current
I'm
juncture.
overstimulated.
Yes. I'm having a bad time in the in the thorny cove.
Yeah.
And then
we,
you dip your face in somebody's blood and you go, I think I'm
think I'm
starting to have a
over.
good time in that Stony Cove.
and with that, it is Mako's turn. And they are going to use their assassinate ability on Willem, attacking those who have
No!
not taken a turn in combat yet. And they are going to strike you with their short sword. And that is a 27 to hit.
Yeah, that does it.
So that is going to be 11 piercing damage, and then
3 more damage.
14 sneak attack damage. And I will have you make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, hold on 1 second. I have to do math. For some reason, I can't subtract 25 from 181 right now, but it's 156. Okay, and then wisdom saving throw?
Yes, sir.
26.
Okay. You are fine. So you will
I know
only
it.
take 3 psychic damage. And he will bonus action disengage and kind of flutter back to the far end of the cave behind Sable. And it is now your turn.
I will bonus action use my Green Knight powers and do Root Bind on him.
Okay.
And restrain him and make him succeed on a saving throw. The DC on that is 16.
Which saving throw?
It's a strength saving throw.
Oh, he definitely fails.
Okay, then I'm gonna go over to him and I'm going to hit him in a non-lethal manner.
That will incur a attack of opportunity from Sable, as you have to walk
Okay,
past
then
her.
I'll
To
just
get.
go with Sable. and I will lethally attack her.
Okay.
Is Girly hit by a 27?
Yes.
Okay. That is 15 slashing damage.
Okay.
12 necrotic damage and 2 radiant damage.
Okay.
And then I'm going to attempt to do it again.
Are you dropping your disguise self? Or
She
you,
already attacked me, so yes.
but it didn't hit you, so it wouldn't affect you yet. But you are effectively dropping it. Like you are
Yeah, I'll
choosing.
drop
Okay.
it.
As you come up and swing Limb Renderer at her, I'm gonna say that like you kind of like drop the visage as you approach her. And she kind of smirks for just a moment before the blade connects with her shoulder, and she kind of like weaves a bit of magic to push it off just enough that it is not lethal. And as she kind of sidesteps you, and you prepare another strike, she looks at you and she goes, "Oh, you're one of Gwen's."
Bruh.
Oh, she's definitely gonna die now.
And you can make your second attack.
19.
That hits.
That is 15 slashing damage, 11 necrotic, and 4 radiant.
11 necrotic and 4 radiant.
So cumulatively, I believe that is 30.
Yes. Hold on one second.
Oh, that doggy wants
Pup,
attention.
look at that goose. What a good goose. That's a good goose.
Oh, he's gonna pick her up.
Okay. Anything else with your turn?
No, other than looking handsome.
All right. You look so handsome. It is now
Thank you.
Branwen's turn.
Branwen's having a 1-800 bad time.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to. Can I get to Sienna at all? Can I reach her?
You are all like there's a lot of you're effectively pinned under both the net and debris, and kind of separated in that sense. You have a couple of choices. You can attempt to escape the net entirely, which will require a strength check. Or if you'd like to recommend another way that you're going to attempt to escape it, or you can make a dexterity check to wiggle your way to Cena.
I would like to dexterity check because I just need to touch her.
Okay. Make a dexterity
I will make.
check.
Okay. That's not bad. That's a 16.
You try your darndest. However, as you're able to like push yourself, and you have the advantage of not being trapped under the water. But because of that, you're finding it difficult to find anything to grab onto besides the net. So you're kind of using the net to pull yourself.
Can I like
over.
let myself go into? Can I go into the water at all?
At this point in your journey, you do not know how to.
So
do
you're
this.
just stuck getting crushed by water?
You eventually
New
find
fear
yourself like
unlocked.
up against a pillar that like Cena's on the other side of. You can hear her like trying to like push and like, but she keeps like gargling up water, and you're unable to get to her at this particular
Can I
juncture.
just yell at her to like I just need her to touch me and I want to hold. Can I hold the rest of my action for if she can touch me?
You have used your action to attempt
Damn
an
it,
escape.
okay.
But you still have your bonus action if you want to attempt anything. And I'll say that you can use your free action to say that.
Yeah, I just need her to touch me and then I can get us out.
Okay. I now need you to make a Constitution saving throw, as the weight is quite heavy. You will
Is she
not.
within 10 feet of me?
No. You will not
Sorry.
incur any additional damage from the water pouring into your mouth, but you will potentially suffer other things.
I got a 19.
Okay. You're kind of like steadying yourself. The weight is getting pretty heavy. The water's pushing up on you. The weight of the net and the wood is pushing down on you. But you kind of steel your resolve and stay focused. And with that, it is Randy's turn.
Look at you.
Okay, I'm going to cast Control Water.
Awesome.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
and
he could do
immediately
that.
I'm gonna kind of like, and I'm gonna clap my hands together and part the Red Sea of the cave and get all of the water to like the edges of just like on the walls. So all the walls are water, but like the hopefully middle part is
Okay.
free for
Is there a limit to
anybody.
how much water?
It's 100 by 100-foot cube.
Yeah, you're good. I just need
That's
a
a lot
minute.
of water.
It's a lot of water. I just need a minute.
Yeah.
Damn it! I changed the thing so that it wouldn't work with your stupid stone shape, and I forgot that you had control.
Solved your
Yeah!
water puzzle.
Did you have
Hey,
it
wait.
like was it stones that were gonna come down?
Yes!
Or...
Yeah, maybe Sable has I counterspell Randy.
Yes.
I counterspell ready and continue to be crushed.
No, all good. Very good. Very creative as always. So basically, like, Branwen, you're sitting there pinned under the rope net, and you can like hear. You actually like, kind of see because of his size. Randy's like back and his wings pinned underneath, the feathers growing waterlogged and weighted down upon his back, and then you hear like a kind of like. I mean, like lets out like a chanting of words, and finally the water rushes off in different directions and kind of swells up and creates a very like intricate like glimmer of light from the torches, just like everywhere. It extinguishes a handful of them, and while you are still underneath the weight of the rope, you are no longer drowning.
That was exactly what I was imagining, Chris. Thank you for saying that.
You're welcome.
Look at that goose. Look at the goose.
You
She's
will
such a
have
good
to.
goose.
The weight of the rope and the pillars are still atop you, so I will have you make a Constitution saving throw.
Fair enough. 17.
Okay, you are a-okay. And with that, it is now Cena's turn. And she is going to attempt to cut through the netting. She will
Look
do
at the
so
fin.
at disadvantage. And so she is unable to do it. So you,
These dogs love you, Evan.
Branwen, you can see
Yeah.
as he kind of like she lifts the knife up and she starts like carving away at the rope, but it's just like so wet that it's difficult for anything to band. Two of you. Difficult for anything to occur, and with that, she fails, and she has to make a Constitution saving throw. She rolled nat 20. She's fine. It's Dunk's turn. So Dunk, you can kind of you see like water like kind of shoot up in a spear and forms like almost kind of a tunnel into the other cave. And you just know Randy's cooking over there. But Sable and Mako are available to you. Sable is being currently attacked by Willem, and you can see Mako kind of struggling in some vines behind Willem, or behind Sable rather.
Seeing Mako struggling, I'm going to run up and swing at him.
Okay.
I will
Can
do
I-
so.
Reaction, say something.
Sure.
Keep him alive.
Right. With non-lethal damage, a 23 to hit.
Yes, that hits.
Let's see, 11, 18, 22 physical damage.
Okay. Oh, 22 total.
Yes, 22
Okay.
physical damage.
Got it.
And 1 fire damage.
Okay.
And then we'll...
As a free action, Mako will cry out in an identical voice of Willem, "Kill me! Kill me!" And I will have you make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, no. Am I being charmed?
You're not. You're not being affected. Go ahead and make the saving throw.
Okay. 8.
You can't tell who said that. Did Willem say it? Did the king like the
Oh.
crowd is like getting quite dense in here. There's a lot happening, and you can hear in Willem's voice shouting, "Kill me, kill me!" And you can make your next move.
That's terrifying. But I'm going to keep swinging. 23 to hit.
That hits.
Let's see, 10, 18, another 22 damage, and
Okay.
5 fire damage.
All right. Thank you. And with that, it is Sable's turn. She will bonus action phase step to the far end of the cave near the entrance where you all are not. She's kind of standing over Jax's dead body. And she's going to direct all three of her Eldritch blasts at you, Willem. Sorry, hold on.
Holding.
Wow. Why can't I do math right now? 22, 27,
Hit.
and a 14.
Okay. Yep. I will get hit by 2 and not by 1.
Okay. That is going to be.
Is silvery barbs one of those?
Silvery Barbs is. Can you remind me, Silvery Barbs? Is that for attack rolls? Yes, right?
See,
If
see,
it's
I'm
a roll
actually
that they're
I-
making.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can Silvery Barbs.
yeah.
I am a sponge for damage, so you might want to save that for something a little bit more important.
No
but roll that hit.
metagaming.
Yeah.
Dunk cast Silvery Barbs.
He's got to help his boy.
And that is still a 22.
Dang.
I appreciate the gesture.
That
But you
is-
get advantage on your next attack.
Okay.
So that is 18. 29 force damage.
Okay.
And she is no, she already used her bonus action, so that is it. It's Mako's turn. They are still restrained, so they cannot move, but they are going to attack you, Dunk, with their dagger. They do, however, not get sneak attack because nobody's around them and they have disadvantage. Or rather, they don't have advantage. Are you hit by a 19?
I am
That's going to be 9 piercing damage.
halved because I am raging.
You got it, buddy.
He's
So
an angry boy.
5, right?
Yes. And now it is Willem's turn, and at the start of Willem's turn, the vines around Mako will disappear.
It only lasts for 1 turn.
Yes.
That sucks.
You have a ton of abilities.
I do. I do. And that one sucks.
And he couldn't move for a whole turn, and so he didn't get to disengage and go tack next to somebody with advantage.
All right.
Wah!
Bonus action. All right, guys, it's been fun. I think I'm out of this campaign
Yeah.
at this point. I will bonus action Hex on Sable, and then I will attack her.
Okay.
Does my first attack has advantage because of silvery barbs?
Yes.
Okay. Choose 18 to hit.
Yeah.
15 slashing damage yet again.
Okay.
And 14 necrotic damage. And 8 radiant damage.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna do it again, or attempt to.
Heard.
Are we hit by 17?
Yes.
Ah, lit. That is 12 slashing.
Okay.
And then 16 necrotic and 7 radiant.
All right. Anything else with your turn?
Looking handsome.
Okay. And with that, it is Branwen's turn. So you are now pinned on the ground underneath the weight of the netting, but you are at least no longer like struggling under the fact that you're pressed between two things.
Can I touch Cena yet?
You're still blocked by one of the pillars, so you can attempt to make a
Damn it!
strength check to navigate out, or find some way
Get
to escape the
majorly
Okay,
rope.
cockblocked by this
bonus
pillar.
action phase step, just so I'm not pinned, and so I can reach Cena. I can just
Okay.
at least touch Cena,
Yep.
and then I'm just gonna dimension door both of us anywhere else.
Abandoning Andy. So
Sorry, man.
you basically like you're lying there like struggling, that you're getting really frustrated, and then you just basically like slurp through the ropes onto the outside, and then like reach down, tap Cena on the noggin, and like pull her through a dimension door. I'm gonna say you just go over toward where Willem is.
We're just anywhere.
Yeah.
Branwen is like, I need to be not here right now.
Fair enough. Anything else with your turn?
That's it. That's
Okay.
all I can do.
And it is now Randy's turn. So Randy, you are still underneath the beams and the netting, but you are no longer drowning.
Okay. And where is the Kenku in all this?
The Kenku is kind of standing at the crossroads, which is like kind of over your shoulder, but he's very
Okay.
close. He's like 25 feet away.
Very cool. And he is not restrained.
Not anymore. He was.
Okay.
Because it only lasts for a
I
turn.
will cast. If I was to attempt to escape, that's an action from me,
Yes.
not a movement. Okay.
Yes. And does control water require concentration?
It does.
Okay.
Yeah. And freeing myself is what kind of check?
Well, you could tell me how you'd like to try to escape, or you can just attempt to lift one of the pillars and like netting off of you, which requires a strength check. I figured you would have your own kind of desirable way to get out of this.
Yeah. I guess that's not too bad. I'm trying to decide of whether or not I want to try to get out this turn, or have a guaranteed getting out next turn. Yeah, whatever. I'll cast Freedom of Movement on myself.
Okay. And what does freedom of movement do?
I can spend 5 feet of movement to automatically escape from non-magical restraints.
Well done. Okay. You're able to pretty like kind of basically like as you're kind of cast the spell on yourself, your body starts to glow a little bit, and you kind of like start pushing your hands through the netting and just watch as they kind of phase through them almost. And so you're able to kind of push yourself up and out and standing there like. Does that require concentration perchance?
That does not require concentration. Just requires me to touch myself.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, baby.
All right. Anything else with your turn?
I don't think I can do anything else. Well, I guess I could move towards the Kenku, right?
Okay, so you're gonna get up on the Kenku.
Yeah. I'm getting up on that bird.
Alrighty. It is now Cena's turn. And she's gonna take a free action. She goes, so remind me, we're not killing this thing.
Which one?
The
Can
bird. She's
someone
like
respond?
gesturing towards the bird.
Keep one of them alive.
And she's going to attempt to sneak attack Mako. She hits both. Oh yeah. Okay. So you watch as Cena kind of rushes in after kind of stepping through the dimension door, knife in the back of the Kenku, and it kind of like leaps up, and then with the butt of her other dagger, bonk on the head, and you just kind of like, and is
She's so great.
knocked out cold. And with that, it is Dunk's turn, leaving only Sable, who kind of like lifts up her hands. All right, darlings. We don't have to make this messy. You've already gotten what you wanted. I'll leave, and we'll forget you whenever you go.
No. I'm gonna go and like hold her.
Okay,
Grapple,
you're
I
going to
guess.
grapple her.
Yeah.
Okay. she will allow herself to be grappled. She won't even fight you. And it is her turn, and she'll just kind of like let it happen, effectively ending combat. Just, I guess it would have been foolish for any of us to expect that someone actually got the drop on you five. But no harm, no foul. I'll be on my merry way, and we forget this ever happened. You can even keep the bird if you'd like. None of us really like him anyway.
Who are you three?
My name is Sable. I believe we covered that. Nothing but a humble bounty hunter, darling. I like coin.
Little bounty hunter who knows about Gwen.
Oh, yes, darling. Friend of a friend. Friend of a dead friend, I should say.
Do go on.
Well, make it worth my while. Promise me that I'll be able to walk scot-free.
If we
I'm
don't
not
like
going
what
to
you
make
say,
that
then we'll
promise.
just kill you and speak with your corpse. So
Well, ain't that threatening,
there's
and
that.
quite the kick in the head. Then I guess it doesn't really pay me either way. You can attempt to get any answers you'd like off my corpse, but it was fun while it lasted.
Or he could just read your mind, and I gesture with my head at Randy.
Um, she just kind of
Oh,
shrugs. She goes, clearly you all have your minds made up. Do what you want. I would have thought that the mightiest heroes of the realm would feel confident letting little old me walk on my merry way. But if that's not going to be the case, well then, hopefully word gets around about how ruthless you are, and people will start to take notice and put you out of your misery.
Who is this
for
bounty?
Don't
Go
know.
ahead, Randy.
no, for the record, I have no problem with letting her go.
Convince us it's a
I mean,
good
I don't
idea to
super.
let you go.
Well, here, let's just ask her a couple more questions first. What's the signal?
You just drowned it, to be perfectly honest. There was a bell we had to toll in there, and she kind of gestures towards the cave where the water is still currently rushing. I'll say if you want to avoid further misgivings, you might want to leave this place, even just like the
Uh,
entrance.
yeah.
Sure.
Okay. It was in there. No longer. She kind of lets you push her out of the cave, and I assume you
Oh, and I'm
carry.
I'm taking the Kenku with us.
Yes, Mako.
This wet bird. Okay. All right. So
So,
someone tolls the bell. Then what happens?
Whoever put the bounty on you arrives.
Cool.
So we were
Okay.
you
told.
were just intermediaries in all of this?
That's how bounty hunting works, dear. He claimed to know the most, and she kind of gestures to the bird. There's some kind of sick fascination with it. But what are you going to do? Some people aren't in it for the money, they're in it for the theatrics of it all. Me, I like a fine bottle of wine, and a fat coin purse.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I look at everybody else. I'm like, what is the issue? Just kind of like letting her go.
She knows more than she's telling us.
Well, okay, yeah. No, well, what if she told us that though?
Well, if she told us that, that might incentivize us to let her live.
Okay. Yeah, so it's not a hard and fast thing we kill you. I don't think that was ever like we're not,
I told you what I
murderers.
know, dear. Well, he certainly seems like one.
Well, Willem's a little bit of a murderer. He does murder sometimes for justice reasons, but I wouldn't worry too much about that.
You're that one. Got it. Did you succeed on your valiant quest to kill her?
They don't call me the Hagsbane for nothing.
Congratulations, dear. The realm is a better place. We're all so proud of you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I like her. She's funny. And Branwen doesn't say that.
So you could tell us, and then we can let you go, or I can read your mind, and then we can let you go.
What more is there to tell? I told you, he knows the most.
Well, I'm talking about Gwen.
I knew her. The Night Weaver. She created. She was my patron for a while. Haven't been able to talk to her in some time. I assume that's your doing, which is fine. I was stuck around anyway.
So she was your patron. What was the deal?
I like to make money, dear, as I said. I wanted to make more of it. She gifted me with some abilities, and I gave her a cut.
Well, she wasn't after money, certainly.
Actually, she was. It was a bit peculiar. I've met a few witches and crones in my day, but she seemed to fancy the gold. But no, there was obviously more to the deal. Hags don't let their powers go for free. A slice of my soul, though I don't miss it. I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
I'm gonna need a second, guys.
Okie dokie.
Hi, Laura.
They said I.
Chris, I'd like to pop into my mind palace and have a conversation with my sword.
Okay.
While he's
Yeah.
doing that, I'm going to go over to the Kenku, but you can do this first.
Okay. Willem, as you kind of attune to your weapon. Well, I have to get into my Dracula voice. Willem, how are you?
Well, I feel like you've been disappointed with me lately with the amount of unjust souls that I haven't been feeding you, and I was just wondering what you thought I should do about this situation right here.
I am not here to counsel you, Willem. I am here to
Oh, but
be.
you are here to judge me when I don't do what you want.
Excuse me! I have
You're
given you
excused.
vast, insurmountable powers.
Yeah, and I'm
To be
trying
my
to keep
weapon,
you happy.
my painter in the mortal world. You paint with blood. You should not have to ask me. I chose you because I knew you would judge well and just. If you cannot,
Well,
then I will assume you are another pathetic child, and you will grow unworthy of me.
you frustrate me sometimes.
As do you. I thought
Well,
I chose well.
all right.
Prove it.
I'm out of my mind palace.
Even though you leave, he rings in your mind once more. Justice is definitive. Know what you do and swing with truth in your heart. You set the rule of law.
Randy can talk to the bird.
What you doing, Rand?
Gonna kind of just tie him up a little bit, make sure he can't move, and then can I wake him up?
Sure. As you kind of rope him up, shake him, and he just starts squawking very loudly.
Oh my god! Oh, hello, bird. Who sent you?
What's it to you?
I would like to know who has the bounty on me.
Uh,
Oh, all us, all of us.
Let me go, and I'll tell you.
How about you tell me, and then we'll let you go. You have my word. Yeah, I have no reason to kill a bird.
Make a persuasion check.
Wow. 2. I would not. I'm gonna read his brain. Not worth.
Okay. And there's no save, right?
There is a save.
Oh. A wisdom save.
It's just how much of his brain I can read.
Okay.
It's an 8. Wisdom 18.
They fail.
Okay, I can read his innermost thoughts.
You plunge into this guy's mind palace, face first, and you're just up in it. And, and You can hear him in almost like a sing-songy voice. Oh, her wings, dark like shadows, flitter, flutter, so strong, so beautiful, my big sis.
Wait,
Hold on, this
God
could just be a
damn it.
big bird.
wait, yeah, no, it could be. Your first thought is Sherfo, but also he is a bird.
With black feathers.
Big shiny coins, he thinks, more than I can count, all for you. She wants them so badly. I'll be the best little bro.
Wait, I really don't know what the dynamic is anymore.
I don't know what's going on. Do I get the idea this is a literal big sister?
Make an insight check.
Sure.
Or if he's just a little freak.
Wowie fucking zowie. Oh, that's still a 12.
He's a little freak. He thinks that just because she has wings that are dark, she must be his big sister. And because
it.
and you can start as you kind of you weave around in these thoughts to get like a sense of like what he's thinking of, and you kind of see flashes of memories of a shadowy cloaked figure talking to him in what appears to be a shipwreck. And you can tell very clearly that she's like chiding him and saying like, yes, I've only entrusted you with this information, and kind of like building up his ego of like being a key cog in her grand plans.
Hmm.
Little freak
Is it a capital
manipulation.
S? She?
It is a capital S, she.
Oh my god.
And as you're kind of like probing into his minds, Randy, he speaks aloud for all of you to hear. You just don't know her like I do. She wouldn't hurt me, just you.
Coming out of his mind palace, I can cast suggestion. I always forget. I don't always forget. I always remember. My favorite part of the of it. Um, I'm gonna hold off on that. I'm gonna turn back to my friends. I'm gonna go. Yeah, so it's Seraphil. I don't know what we were really expecting, to be honest.
Not that.
Um,
What?
I
Branwen is like halfway from using Mage Hand to like get the bell out of the wreckage. And I'm like, should I not do this?
no.
Do we not
Here's
want this?
I think, and I look to see and I go. I I think we got to talk to her.
I think not.
Doesn't it seem a little petty that she would put out a bounty on us? I mean, if
It
she
seems like if
wanted
she
us,
wanted us, she'd just come get us.
She
can
keeps
just
trying
come
to
get us.
she keeps trying to get us in like weird roundabout ways that don't work. She's not very good at it.
She
But
wanted us alive for whatever reason.
we don't want this bell.
Do you really think it's going to be her that's coming to get us? She's already outsourced everything else.
Good point.
You think she actually has all that money? Just out of
I
curiosity.
don't mean to interrupt, but are we quite done? You've gotten what you wanted. Now let me go.
No.
No, sit here and I don't know.
Fair.
Yeah, I think we just kind of punt this one off a little longer.
Just another foiled plan.
What
Yeah.
would happen if we did talk to her? Just devil's advocating here.
I don't have a plan. I have a
Okay.
plan, but it's longer than
It
talking to
involves
her right here, right
chronomancy.
now. Correct, yeah. Is there anything that any of you think we would benefit from talking to her?
I kind of want to know what she wants with us.
We know what she wants from us.
Do we?
She wants us dead. She wants to do it herself.
But then why wouldn't she just do it?
You
Why
heard them.
hire?
We're notorious heroes of the realm. She can't just come down and kill us in broad daylight. She finds people to catch us and then comes down to do it herself.
It seems like
I
more
still think
steps
she
than
could
are
do it if she
warranted for
wanted
her.
to. I mean, she did say that she's going to plunge the entire land into war. I don't really think she cares about her public reputation.
She
all
needs
that
time
badly.
to do her. You don't know her like I do.
No, I don't. None of us do.
She wants to do this right. She's been trying for hundreds of years. She's going to try to have other people do things for her until she has no other choice. She's not going to expose herself when she's this close. The less we put
It would
ourselves out
be
there in her way, the less risk.
Okay, so how do we make sure that this bounty is called off at least? I look at Sable and Bird Boy.
Sable just kind of like, don't look at me, darling. And Bird Boy just goes, easy. Turn yourself in. She likes it here. She's here.
She's not here. So
But she's close.
I don't like this little bird, man.
I feel like I've at least got to tell her to fuck off. Just for a little bit.
What do we gain from that?
Hopefully
You
she
can't
fucks up.
stop her. She won't fuck off. And he says the last part in your voice, Randy.
I don't like that. That's creepy.
And at that, he's gonna kind of like
She's
he's gonna look at Cena and be like, "She hates you. Ooh, her lost little prize. Good thing you're
I'm gonna walk
worthless."
over and cut his head off.
Oh, I'm stopping him. Fuck you. I'm stopping Willem. No way.
You will have to make a dexterity check to
I cast
attempt.
hold person on Willem.
Oh shit! Willem, make a wisdom saving throw.
Uh, 18.
Big meets it, beats it.
Does that save?
It's a-
Silvery barbs.
Yeah. Oh.
Ooh.
Willem.
Oh, I have to roll again. That's
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Nat 20.
Okay.
Fuck.
Yeah, so each of you attempts, like Randy, you like lift a finger frantically as Willem comes careening down with Limb Renderer. And Branwen, you kind of like whistle at the very last second to attempt to break his concentration, but he steals himself and the Kenku's head rolls onto the floor. And Sable goes, "Oh my my."
I'm just gonna walk out and go wait outside.
So you're kind of like all in the mouth of the cave.
Cool.
Do I need to explain myself?
It feels like we're done here.
Rather you didn't, and I also walk off.
I will wheel around and squat in front of Sable, and I just look at her dead in the eyes and go, if I'm not going to kill you, I'm going to need some assurances.
Ask away, darling. You've walked away.
I walked away.
Ask away, darling.
You give this whole bounty hunting thing up, and you do your best to lead a life that wouldn't warrant being killed by me.
My, someone thinks very highly of themselves. Tell me, what does that look like? What is an honorable life
One where you
in
don't
Gwang's Hag's
actively
Ball?
seek one where you don't actively seek to harm other people to your own benefit.
Can I ask you a question, dear? Why would I expect to live my life this way when you clearly don't?
Well, see, that's the whole justice thing, the Green Knight thing, is sometimes people do deserve to die.
Green Knight! Oh, that's very good. Okay, so if I'm just understanding correctly, you can kill people with reckless abandon so long as they subscribe to your particular code of moral justice.
Well, if I was going to kill somebody with reckless abandon, your head wouldn't be attached to your shoulders right now.
Fine, dear,
I'm
I
asking you to
promise.
give me reasons not to. Because I don't want to, but if I determine that it is the appropriate course of action, that's what's going to happen.
Fine, dear, don't kill me. I'll give up bounty hunting and find a more pliable trade. What would you recommend?
I don't know. I know a few musicians, I know a few farmers. I don't really know what your skill set is, but just try to stay out of bounty hunting.
At the end of the day, bounty hunting is a legal act. Are you saying it shouldn't be? It's
I'm
condoned
saying
by the wilds and
you
fairly
should not
every
hunt
state.
bounties
So, me personally.
specifically.
So,
Sure,
your
yes.
description of justice is everyone else can do something unless you deem it not worthy.
I'm going to roll my eyes at her. All right. Don't bounty hunt unless the person is a criminal and deserves to be hunted. How about that?
So, state bounties only. Got it.
Sure.
You have my word, dear.
I put out my hand for a shake. Swear it.
She looks at the dog as she is still bound,
I'll loosen an arm.
uh, and she deftly charmed.
Break your promise, and I'll find you.
I have no doubt.
You're free to go.
Thank you, dear. She will saunter off.
Just gonna look at Willem and be like, and I'll go find Randy and Branwen.
We went in different directions.
We did?
I went in a different direction.
Okay.
That's fair. I went away first.
Randy, where are you headed?
Back in the cave.
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna go and try to start digging for the bell. Not to use it, just to look at it.
So the water is quite high at this point, but you are able to you'll be swimming in at this point into that particular section of the cave as your concentration was dropped, Randy. But luckily, like in the departure and all the chaos, like the hold is kind of shut, so water is trickling in normally with the flow of the tide. Um, and make an investigation check to attempt to find the bell, Randy.
I'm gonna cast control water again, just
Okay.
to kind of like make it a little easier.
Okay, you can make an investigation check with advantage then.
I got a nat 20.
Okay. Amongst like a lot of wreckage and spent food, broken crates and barrels, you are able to find a dainty silver bell, like just like you would see at a hotel or something of that nature. Which is kind of like kitty cornered, like you catch the glint of the light as it kind of pokes out from the sand.
I'm going to grab it and pocket it and just kind of sit down for a sec.
Okay. Dunk, you enter and find your companion Rage kind of seated on a crate in the back of the cove. As water kind of like swirls, almost like complacently, sphere around the cave.
I'm gonna just look at him and like obviously trying to avoid talking about the Kenku. So you found the bell?
Yeah, Dunk, how can you just kind of like sit there?
Um, I don't know. I've seen a lot of shit. That was pretty fucked up. Um, I'm glad to see that he let Sable go, but
He did? Okay, well, sick. I'm glad that she subscribed to his very specific set of rules that he has for every person on Earth. Sorry, I don't mean to
no.
take it out on you. I'm just very angry.
Yeah, I don't really know what his deal was with that. It seemed like if anything he would have just gone straight for Sable since she worked with Gwen. Um, but
You'd
the
think, yeah.
Kanku just happened to be annoying. I don't know.
Damn, that's a great reason to kill somebody because they're annoying and a bird. Sorry. I will be out in a minute.
Take your time, boss.
And
Uh,
I just fully like lay down in the sand or whatever the cave's floor is made out of.
Sand. Willow, where are you? Or I'll stick with Branwen for a minute. Branwen, where are you headed?
I'm just walking along the shore.
You're headed basically back up toward town almost.
No, not. I'm just walking along the shore. Probably like at the very edge of the water, seeing if I can just trying to clear my head and trying to see if I can get my feet to go in the water at all.
Okay.
I just realized the grand irony of Branwen's situation is she died by drowning and now she can't be immersed in water.
Yep. Um, make a wisdom check.
Yeah, I'm historically great at those. It's a 2.
Yeah, you're like basically like stomping on the water, and like while flecks like fly up and kind of the salty air kind of like slaps you in your face as you're walking along, and you kind of like you basically do like a childlike thing where you stomp, 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 and nothing occurs. And you just kind of like blow the hair out of your face, and you find you've kind of walked far enough along to find yourself like kind of in that uh, shipwreck yard that you didn't really notice from the air, um, but you now see, which is kind of like a desolate stretch of shoreline, broken ships, everything's kind of tangled in seaweed, fine layer of salt and sand on everything. Um, and given where the tide's at, like the waves kind of like rush in and pull out very slowly from all the many rotting hulls. Make a perception check.
10.
Okay. It actually does not take much as um, given how like all the state of like disrepair that everything is in. Kind of further down the beach, kind of partially submerged in the sand and listing to one side, uh, sits a more like kind of grand wreck. Catches your eye. It's larger and more importantly, it's very intact in comparison to the others. Um, and its name is painted in fading letters on the side. The Fritz Gerald.
Are you proud of yourself?
I am. Um,
Mark
Willem,
of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
yes.
Hmm.
Willem, what are you doing? So Randy went into the cave. Dunk kind of followed him after him. After a few minutes, Dunk exits as well, uh, and Branwen kind of huffed off in towards the north area. Cena
Where's
kind of
Sheena?
kicks rocks by the cave entrance and kind of like positions herself and kind of like collapses in a heap against the cove and almost like kicks her shoes off a little bit so like the water and then she like to like lay them in the water that's creeping up closer and closer until she inevitably kind of realizes how cold it is and puts it back on. But you're just kind of like standing there.
I am starting to dig a hole And then I will look at Cena and go, hey, I know you just went through a lot, but if you're not too tired, I could use some help with this.
Oh, what are you doing?
Well, I'm gonna bury him.
The audacity.
In the sand here? Like the the tide is going to be in any minute. I don't really think we should
Well, I'm
stick
gonna
around.
dig deep.
You're not going to have time. Fine, I'll help you.
Well, I guess then we'll move up shore. Or I'll move up shore. You don't have to come with me.
I'll help you. Come on, dig. And she'll pull a small shovel that she has in her
Oh,
adventuring
I
pack.
didn't know we had one of those.
She has one because she's ingenious.
Mm.
And she will kind of start to dig, and you'll trade off back and forth. That's kind of what it's like. It's more like it's not a
A poop trowel.
Trowel.
not a trowel,
Yeah.
but it's like a small like field shovel. It's not a real shovel. It's like a
Spade?
small. Yeah, it is like a
Mm.
spade.
Um,
And she kind of trades it back and forth with you to make as much progress as possible.
mid dig, I'll just go. So, do you have opinions about what just happened?
I think right now there's a lot of opinions going around.
And I would like yours if you'd like to share it.
I think, as always, Willem, you tend to act on your own accord. But sometimes this group needs decision making. I don't. I think there are bigger fish to fry than what happened to this bird. Like what we're actually going to do about her.
That is a particularly large fish, yes.
And there's a chance that he might have been able to help us, and you did decide on your own that his services were no longer needed.
Well, nothing's irreversible.
You're in the act of burying him right now, and you also cut off his head.
Well, yes, but I was gonna wait to drop him in
She
until
kind of
everybody else
gestures
was
to the
here.
water,
I
pouring
thought we
out.
went up, so
You're
we're out of the tidal zone.
okay. Yeah, sorry. I thought you. She was kind of saying like, no, no, fine, we'll just do it here. Um, and either way, if you've gone up, she goes, if you're willing to do that and wait, why not just wait in the moment? And if you did just wait in the moment, we wouldn't be in a situation where Randy's cooped up in a cave, Branwen's off doing God knows what. Yes, we need to make decisions, but at the same time, you also act abruptly.
Correct. And I may have made a mistake, which is why I'm willing to wait. I did not have a cool head in the moment because I did not like the things that sadistic little bird was saying.
Do you want my unsolicited opinion? Are you actually ready for that?
I've probably heard just as bad.
A while back, I don't remember who, but someone said that you pretend like you could live without a war, basically. Like that without some higher just purpose, you'd founder. And for a very long time, we've been, all of us, have been helping you get to your revenge. Everyone helped you and put a lot of things on the line for that. And I worry that maybe you are a little, you're trying to find your next thing. And in the span of a day, you've gone from that thing being making sure that Branwen can't find out more about what she's supposed to do with this new power to arguing with Randy again to killing this bird. I worried that without Gwen, you don't know what your purpose is, and that's fun. But that doesn't mean that you should make rash decisions.
Would it matter if I tried to explain myself to you?
Of course, we're a group. We should talk.
Well, I want to be very clear that I wasn't trying to stop Branwen from trying to find anything out. In fact, I said multiple times that perhaps it would be a good idea to consult somebody who might know more before we go messing around with things we don't understand. My priority is and always has been everyone's safety and making sure we accomplish the mission.
Okay.
And the argument with Randy happened because of the beheaded bird.
And because of getting in Braylon's way. And listen, I think the Ebon Lake is creepy too, but we're jumping to conclusions about it, and sometimes we just have to trust the people around us. That you don't have to be the one that makes
Don't
the rash
explain
decisions.
anything. I don't take things on blind faith, Cena.
Blind faith in yourself.
It's not blind faith in myself. I'm very sure of where I'm coming from.
Much is evident. Um, as you two are kind of going back and forth, you start to hear the footfalls in the sand as Randy starts to kind of pace his way up the cliffside to where you're standing.
I'm gonna go to where they're both digging a grave, and I'm just gonna kind of sit there for a little bit.
Randy,
You didn't even give him a chance.
That's not true.
No, you ask people if they want to change their ways, and then you kill them. You didn't do that. You didn't do that. You didn't. No, you killed him in cold blood. Just
The creature who was delightfully cackling about turning us over to Seraphel, yeah, I killed him in cold blood. If you disagree with my decision, which may have been a mistake, he's here.
he just like looks over the corpse.
which is beheaded, and you know that while you would be able to speak to him, you couldn't bring him back.
Oh, does resurrection not work if they're not together anymore?
It's definitely a head thing.
Yes.
He goes, I can't.
Well, like I said, I may have made a mistake, and I'm sorry.
Willem,
That's
I do like you can't. The bird is one thing. I just like I don't. How can I? How can I trust that you won't just do things like this all the time when it really, really matters?
Oh, kind of like how you have a plan by yourself that nobody else agrees with to do this whole chronomancy thing to try to talk to Seraphel and go back in time and change her mind about everything.
You don't have to follow.
You don't have to agree with what I did.
I don't, but I don't know if I want to like
Do you think he didn't deserve it?
No. He's a living thing, man.
And you've never killed anybody?
Of course I've killed people in
They were living
self-defense.
things. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, when you got really angry and almost fucking creamed Trinidad, and the only reason you didn't is because Branwen stepped in.
Okay.
You did that in
Okay.
self-defense.
To be fucking fair, I had the madness. That was there was something else going on there. That wasn't me. It's harder and harder to justify associating myself with you, man. I don't want to be friends with the guy who kills people for no reason.
You've been killing people for months. You're not better than me.
I'm not better than you. I'm a little bit better than you.
I think we need to take a break.
I kind of agree.
What? Let's make camp.
Why?
And where's Branwen? This is. Randy, Willem has its faults, but what do you suggest?
Nothing. No, it's cool. And I take out a joint
It's
and I
not
start
cool.
lighting it. Weren't you burying a bird?
Let's wait for Branwen.
Sure.
You are standing in front of the Fitzgerald. Make an investigation check.
Can I have like wandered and like found Branwen after like leaving Randy from the cave?
Sure. So the two of you are now in front of the Fitzgerald.
Oh shit! Hey, Dunk.
Hey, Branwen. Fun day.
Yeah, look at there's a boat.
Boats are cool.
Yeah. You want to look at this boat?
I want nothing more than to look at this boat with you.
Hey, Dunk. Can I have a hug?
I will warmly embrace Branwen.
Okay, let's go look at this boat. I don't want to go back up there. So we're gonna look at this boat.
Okay.
And I got a 6.
Yeah, it's a both. So both of you can notice that it is like very much like in terms of the boats that are around, the most intact and like kept together. Though the wreck itself is still like waterlogged and impacted by weather. The upper kind of like deck you can see has been fully exposed to the elements and kind of caved in a little bit, leading into the lower decks. Uh, but given how it is kind of like submerged partially in the sand, you are able to step up onto the main deck, but you don't notice anything out of the ordinary.
Was it just Randy that saw the thing of a boat in the bird's head?
Yes.
Cool. Let's go look at this boat.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. As you step up onto the upper deck, it is swept, creaking like. And there's a lot of splintered wood and remnants of the ship's canvas kind of flapping in the sea breeze. You can see across the long deck the ship's wheel is tilted, and at this point is pretty overgrown with kind of salt-stained algae. There's a lot of broken riggings, but for the most part, the ship does not look picked over. It feels almost like a caught in time. Uh, make an investigation check. The two of you can.
2.
10.
Okay, Branwen, you can
I don't find
see.
shit.
Branwen, you can see. There are faint markings of like kind of like clearly presence, like somebody has been on the ship, and that there is a stairway and kind of the broken entrance down to the lower decks, and then a kind of like risen. You would assume to be a cabin on the far side of the upper deck. It's directly accessible from the deck that you're currently on, and then the stairs down.
You go down.
Yeah, I'll walk down, I guess.
I'll cast if it's dark. I'll cast dancing lights.
Okay. Yeah, it's getting
You
later in
have
the
little
day,
sparkles.
and there's obviously no torchlight as you go down. The opening kind of leads down to a more narrow deck. There's clearly like the crew quarters. There's kind of hammocks that are tied towards different poles. There are bunks that kind of line the walls where there are no hammocks, and there's just like a dampness on everything. But there are a lot of unopened crates, barrels that seem to kind of stack up and grow even more present as it goes deeper into the deck, leading towards more like what you assume to be a storage area. Um, and you can kind of see upon the naked eye.
Uh, I'm just gonna look around in the storage area, see if I can find anything cool.
Make an investigation check.
Can I help? I'll just help him.
Yeah, I say with the casting lights and such, you're able and you're kind of like making your own combing around. Don't you can roll with advantage.
Good. That's much better. 16.
Okay. The storage area that leads from the crew quarters that you're in right now is just pretty cluttered with crates, some of which have collapsed to time, but many of them are unopened and fully normal. There's a handful of, as you kind of like comb through and crack open some of them, they're very easy to kind of like rip the lids off of because they've just been sagged from the weight of time and like the sea breeze and such. Are food stores, things of that nature. But then there's also like a fair amount of like gold and gems, though dirtied and faint at this point in time. Like clearly this was a ship, a trade ship of some kind. Um, you also find one small coin atop one of the crates of like, and the coins are kind of bundled like they are as though they were like being transported to and from a bank almost. Um, and atop one of the crates of coin, you find a small coin that looks unlike any of the others. It's a silver coin, one with a skull on one end and the other with a smiling jester.
Uh, this look like any Feywild shit that you're familiar with?
Can I take a looky? Look, see.
Sure. How are you just to investigate it, or are you going to make an Arcana check?
I'll do Arcana.
Okay.
This sleepiness ain't doing me too much good, as it turns out. That's a 10.
It definitely has a magical aura, but you can't discern what it is.
It's magic.
You do have
Should I flip it?
You do have Pietro in the bag folding.
Should I Pietro it?
Yeah.
Fuck it, we balls.
We haven't used them.
Hey.
Wait, we haven't used them today, right?
You have not.
Yeah, I used them today.
No, it was
Wait,
yesterday.
no, not today.
Yeah,
yesterday, yeah. Oh, wait, yeah, we got one for use. Hey,
Yeah.
Pietro. Wiki.
Welcome, friends. Ooh, spooky ship. And he's gonna kind of take a peek at the coin. He goes, "Ah, a luck coin. One could say that if you had to roll a d20, you could flip this coin instead. And if you were to receive a jester, you have rolled a nat 20. If you receive a skull, you have rolled a nat 1. There is no in between."
Oh, I love this.
And for the purposes of the future, each of you who would ever want to use this coin can flip a quarter. Heads is a jester, tails is a skull. So you can do
This
this
is
in real life.
incredible. I love this. Can I have it? Can I have this as a rule?
Yeah, sure, and I'll kind of flip it at her. Uh,
Nothing occurs because you're not
Okay.
making a check or anything like that.
Um,
how much gold do we find?
There's 6 crates, and in each of the crates there is 2,500 gold.
Okay. I'm
Are you
Add it to
gonna.
the
putting
bank.
all 6 crates into your bag of holding?
I mean, I can start shoveling gold into the bag of holding.
Maybe do like the gems first.
Okay.
It'll be more bang for your buck.
Okay.
Gold.
Alrighty. And that's pretty much everything you find in the cargo hold. There is a... Yeah, no, that's everything you found.
Okay.
Hey, Doug,
Um.
what should we do now?
Uh, well, I guess we gotta go.
I don't want to go back out there.
Yeah.
And there is still the
Um.
cabin on the top deck, which you have not gone into.
Oh my god, let's go look at the cabin, Doug!
We'll hit that while we delay for another couple minutes.
Okay. I'll say by the time, since you've been in like it's not like it's like, yes, you're investigating everything, but it's not a small ship. Like, it still takes you a bit of time to walk from one end to the other, and you are occupying quite a bit of the time. So when you entered, it was late afternoon. Now, like, the moon is starting to creep out. Like, dusk has effectively occurred. Um, as you approach the the cabin at the far end of the upper deck, you open the door and find that it's more intact. Though it feels like a room kind of pulled between two worlds. It's one part is kind of regal with traces of dusty, faded splendor. Like, clearly this was a captain's quarters. Like, this is where the captain stayed when they were on their ship. Um, while the other part is more
Odd, I
eerie
guess.
and confusing. A makeshift bedroll lies
Sorry.
a makeshift bedroll lies against the wall next to a cracked porthole through which moonlight currently streams. So there's a kind of like a unsettling light. It's like a mix of the orange light of the sunset and the moonlight that's starting to creep through. Above the bedroll is a makeshift board of sorts, not unlike the one you saw outside of the rice mine, where fragments of notes and sketches are kind of tacked to it in like a haphazard pattern. Um, Despite the decay of the space, it bears like a vitality that suggests that someone has very recently poured their focus into this particular space. Make an investigation check.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does this look particularly haunting?
It doesn't look haunting, but it looks like someone's living here.
15.
7.
Yes. Branwen, you are able to kind of scan the room and step in, find a small silver portrait frame containing the portrait of a otherwise unknown figure, fair and beautiful, with short silver hair. The glass is cracked, and the portrait is long faded and it's kind of starting to fray at the edges, but it seems very lovingly preserved. And then there's a small black leather satchel that's opened by the head of the bedroll. Inside are a number of smooth fragments of obsidian laying in black powder that kind of fills most of the bag. You turn your attention to the board, which does have a number of frantically written bits of parchment pinned to it. It has a very crude map of the continent, like you're able to pretty quickly recognize that. And that takes up most of the portion of it. Um, you also notice, as you're kind of like just scanning the room at this point, that there is a stack of scrap parchment. The handwriting is much more meticulous in comparison to the more frantic scrawl on the board currently.
Can I read them?
Sure. Um, Make a history check.
8.
You're not able to make too much sense of the pieces of paper. They're all locations, as best you can tell. And at one point, they were pinned to the board, and that kind of brings your attention back to the board, where you can very clearly tell that there are two places with more recent notes and kind of circles drawn on the map. One being the Ebon Lake, and the other being the Tower of Drakenvoss. Now that you're paying more closer attention to the board, you can see that there are copies of the bounty poster of you
Oh,
5 in this room.
oh shit, Dunk.
Yeah.
Dunk, oh no.
Wait, what was that?
We should get out of here right now.
But you've only just arrived.
Oh,
Did you come
she's
alone?
right behind me, isn't she?
The silence is broken as is the light kind of pouring in from outside, momentarily masked by graceful dark wings that descend and furl neatly against her back. Her gauntlet hands move deftly and kind of lift and quietly remove a helmet and set it upon a wooden table by the door, uh, listening to kind of the faint creak of wood, uh, breaking your stunned silence. Did you come alone, or were you brought here? I just need to understand if I am to pay for this gift or not.
You could pay us.
Clever.
We're here alone.
Why did you come, if you were not brought? Have you finally decided that it is futile?
Would you believe that we really just stumbled into this one?
Knowing what I know about you, yes.
Cool.
So what's with the whole roundabout like bounty hunter situation? Like, obviously you could just like come talk to us.
You're quite famous. And the reality of the situation is I don't know where you are at all times. So, it's nice to have you brought to me. In truth,
You live like this?
when I need to.
Kind of shabby for, a whole destroyer of worlds kind of person.
I'm biding my time.
While I'm saying this, I'm casting Sending to Randy. She's here on a ship. Biting. Why? Why do you want us so badly? Why do you want us alive?
Well, really, I only needed one of you. Any one of you would have been
Which
fine.
one of us?
Or what?
At the moment, you're preferable. And she gestures to Branwen. Unless, have you been working on anything that you wanted to talk about? I forget your name, but I understand you've been visiting the Ashenal.
Nothing that I want to talk to you about.
Fair enough. In a flash, she is on you, and her sword is drawn from her back. As Branwen and Dunk, your kind of vision is momentarily faded from like a cluster of feathers that kick up dirt in the room. Um, and I'll have you two roll initiative, and she will get a surprise round upon you.
Well, I rolled a nat 20, but also a 13 because I'm so seethy. So that's a 21.
Um,
13.
13. Okay. Branwen. Ari of Sultan. Oh, yeah. Okay. A 28, 29, and a 21.
Silvery barbs to at least one of those.
Okay. Shorter than that one on the third one.
Yes!
Oh, well done.
I did it!
You did it. Okay. So that is. I'm turning to Googs. 41 slashing damage
Oh no.
and 33 radiant damage.
So her last slight that hits me, and I just turn into water and appear on the other side of the room,
Nice.
looking like shit.
Alex Mack? Anybody
um,
remember that show?
no.
Oh. She turned into a puddle of silvery goo and could get under doors and stuff.
I don't know that. As you, so basically, like Dunk in a flurry, Seraphil soars across the room, cuts once, cuts twice, and you just watch as your friend Branwen like gets. She literally turns into a puddle of water mixed with crimson red of her blood until she kind of pops up on the other side and kind of steadies herself on the door frame. And as she's like swinging down one more time, she goes, and that is so. Brandon, you rolled 21, and Dunk, you rolled a 17.
13.
13. Okay, it is Branwen's turn.
Do I
I'm
get
gonna
the sending
cast.
message or
You do get the sending message. They are very far away.
I know.
I'm going to cast Hold Person
On her.
on her. Yeah.
Hold on a second. I'm cutting a loose thread. There we go. Okay. What is your spell save DC?
16.
She succeeds.
Silvery barbs because it's my turn, so my reaction resets.
That is very true.
Hell yeah.
Sorry. She succeeds.
Silvery
Fine.
barbs.
Yeah.
She fails!
Did it work?
Yes.
So I'm just gonna keep holding her. I'm like, Dunk, go get the others.
I will also cast sending, because I can do that now. And I'm going to tell Willem, y'all get your shit together and get over to this boat. And I'll give them like the sort of rough cardinal direction from where it came from the cave.
Okay.
The direction is boat.
Yeah.
All right. So that is your spell. So you have used your turn, unless
And-
there's a bonus action.
Can I?
So, oh yeah, sending is a
Yeah, sending is
yeah.
an action.
Dunk, run.
Yeah, I'm
Use
gonna
your
come
movement
up.
to hoof it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get up to the top and I'm just gonna hang out at the top of the boat, see it, and like watch for them.
Okay. All right. It is now Seraphil's turn. It's just another wisdom saving throw to attempt to break it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no.
She succeeds.
Fuck.
And she kind of like you're watching as like basically like she immediately spun around to swing at you again, Branwen. And you watch as like she's just like frozen there, and you're kind of like frantically holding your hand out, attempting to keep her held in place. And as her vision kind of like she blinks back, she goes, "All alone."
Oh,
And she is
come
going
on.
to take a gauntleted hand and grab you by the throat, and I'll have you make a strength check to avoid being grappled.
Strength check, really, man? It's an 8.
Yeah. You feel the ground disappear beneath your feet. And Dunk, I will actually also Brandon, you so she spends her turn lifting you up into the air, and you are now 45 feet above the ground.
45 feet. Wait, how did I get there?
She lifted you up off of the ground.
45 feet?
Yes.
What?
And you can use your action to attempt to do. You use your turn to attempt to do something.
I am out of teleporting. Or am I? I will dimension door back to the ground at least.
Just yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're like she like has a grip on you, and you're like you just kind of like pull your hand up, tap yourself on the head, and a door like appears below you, and you basically like kind of just shove off at the last second to push yourself, and you end up like collapsing onto the wooden frame of the boat. The rest of you, Randy, Willem, Cena, are you running that way?
Yeah, the moment that I get that sending, I'm just gonna kind of like shoot up. I'm gonna say she's fucking here, and I'm gonna fucking wings go wah, and I'm gonna zoom on over there as fast as I can.
He's gonna Naruto fly.
Nice.
Yeah.
I will say that it will take you 2 rounds to get there.
Yeah, makes
Um,
sense.
unless, is there anything else that any of you would want to do on your turns that isn't Brandon or Duncan?
I would like. Who has my tooth?
Oh, me. I still have it from before.
I will tell Dunk try to get into the cave. She can't fly there.
We're so far
So
from the
far
cave,
from there.
man.
Pretty far.
Oh well.
You're at the cave. We're not.
I thought the
Yeah.
cave was between us.
No, you're like
supposed
above
to.
the. You're basically like at the cave, just above it. Like you went around it, so
Okay.
like cave, cliff, and you walk up the path, and you're at the top of the cliff.
Get somewhere she can't fly.
This is so bad.
Oh, okay. It is then Dunk's turn.
Can I see like where Cena and Willem are like running towards us?
You have a guess, so like you can't see them because they're far enough away. Assuming they're both like they're all like dashing. But you know where they're coming from, yes, because you came from there.
Okay. I am going to put a hither thither
Hell
portal as
yeah!
close as I can to them, and then put another one like on the boat.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that is my action.
Okay.
But can I like? Is it bonus action? Like, could I like help Branwen up from the ground? I guess.
She's
That would be
fine.
my
Like
action.
she's fine in
Yeah.
that sense. But no, you would not be able to.
Okay. Well, um, I guess I'll just free action. We just got to hold them off as long as we can, Branwen. Hold her
Oh,
off
that's
as
not
long as
going to
we
be
can.
very long for me. It's all humans.
I'll try.
um, okay.
And position myself in between Branwen
He
and
hit me really
Seraphel.
hard.
All right. So I'll say you kind of like leave the portal. Given that it has a range of how long? How far?
Uh, ooh, what is it again? I think it's like, let's see, 1,500 feet.
Okay. So you get it out as far as you can see, and that will mean that all of you can arrive at the top of the next initiative count. Um, however, as you are running, you kind of like see this portal open up in front of you, and you're like, "Hell yes, dunk!" And you're running, like hoofing it, and two of you. What order are you all going in? Let's see. I think technically it's Randy, Willem, Cena.
I think so.
Sure.
Okay. Um,
Cena can bonus action dash.
Tina's probably faster than both of us. Yeah.
yes, she is. Unfortunately.
Oh, now I feel bad about saying
Unfortunately.
that. No.
Uh, Cena rushes through the portal as Seraphel comes careening down, and Bram, you kind of brace yourself, expecting her to land upon you, but instead she basically bear hugs Cena back through the portal. And Randy, Willem, you're kind of like trying to catch up to her as Cena like basically splits between you two, daggers already out, and goes charging through, and you're like ready. You can see in the distance Seraphel, like in the air, you can see the winged figure. Until like all of a sudden, in a blur, she is by you, Cena in her arms, and she kind of tosses Cena to the ground. And then she turns her sword to the two of you. She goes, "Good, you're all here." And she will then plunge the sword into Cena.
We'll try to, you mean?
No.
Oh,
She
God.
fucking what?
She makes 2 attacks. This is kind of. She rolled a nat 20 and a
No.
nat 1.
She had disadvantage, right?
She did not. That's 29 slashing. Um, she is down, and kind of like twists it a little bit on the second blow, and she looks to the two of you, the open portal on the other side, and gives you a smirk. And I'll have the two of you roll initiative to join the order.
8.
Oh, 17.
Okay, in that case, Randy, it is your turn.
All right. Say again what I'm seeing right now.
So effectively, as the three of you are running towards the portal, seeing a split between you,
Yeah.
and charged through first. Seraphel came out the other side with Cena basically in her grasp, and then used her final 2 attacks to stab her, and so kind of currently has the blade in her like belly, basically, and she's
Tina's
pinned.
not dead.
She is unconscious.
Is down.
She's unconscious.
Yes, with the blade basically in her stomach, pinning her to the beach.
I don't want to do it. But I think I have to. Um I go to I run up to Cena and I touch her and I cast Word of Recall only on her.
So you're sending her to Hylasera?
To the sanctuary, yeah.
Okay. Um, yeah, okay. So you run up, place a hand on Cena's head, and she, Willem, you're the only other one present to kind of witness as she kind of vanishes in a puff of white smoke. And even Seraphel is like, and you can see like the anger in her eyes twitch again. Are you doing anything else with your turn?
I'll just lock eyes with Seraphil and go, "Don't fucking try anything like that again."
Okay. Doug, it is your turn.
Seeing what happened, I'm
Sorry,
gonna.
no, top of the order.
Oh,
It would be Willem's turn, and then we'll go back up to you. Sorry, I'm realizing how
okay.
the initiative changed. So Willem, it is your turn.
There are so many stupid things I could do. I am going to level my sword at her and cast Compelled Duel.
Okay. What's the save?
Yeah.
A wisdom save of 16, which she can probably make.
She succeeds.
Nobody wants to SB that one?
Nobody
Okay.
is
Not in
around
range.
to
There.
do so. Yeah.
Not in range, and I don't have a reaction left.
Yeah. All right. Bonus action. I will channel my divinity to have advantage on attack rolls against her for a minute.
Okay. That's your turn.
Unfortunately.
Okay. Branwen, it is your turn. So all you have seen is Serafel body check Cena back through the portal.
Yeah, I'm just gonna charge through it, the portal, and see that Cena is gone, and I'm just gonna fucking go crazy on her.
Okay. I'll have you make a wisdom saving throw at this point.
What?
Yes.
Don't forget to add 2, because you're near your pal Willem.
Doesn't matter. That's a 10.
Welcome to Omni Branwen.
Let's go.
As a reminder, that gives you an extra attack action, but does give you give others an advantage against you.
Woo! I
You called it
attack her
Omni
with.
Branwen and not Bar Branwen.
Thanks. We kind of established the Omni Branwen thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna try to stab her a bunch with Excalibur.
Okay. Go off.
First one misses. Wait, do I get? Or am I flanking?
Randy's right next to her, so yes.
It doesn't matter anyway because the first one misses anyway.
Okay.
Second one is going to be probably another miss. Wait, no, these are just straight rolls, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm re-rolling that second one because I don't know which one. Cool. Second one's also a miss.
Okay.
Third. Can we just say, just to make sure it stays cool, that she just keeps blocking?
Yes, and effectively that is what is happening. So you
Cool.
come
So
basically like you come careening out and like kind of like skid on the sand a little bit, kicking up a bunch of sand, and you just see that Cena is not there, and you just see Serafil standing there with her greatsword. So you fly into a fit of rage, yank Excalibur out from the sheath by your side, and she like deftly with her massive greatsword just like parries left, parries down, and kind of kick up a bunch of sand and try to blind her, and she recoils just a little bit, and without even looking, is able to deftly flank the blade to the side.
guys, not a single one of those rolls was above a 6.
That's bad.
That is very bad. She will expend
Branwen needs a nap.
a legendary action to attack you.
It's been an honor.
That is
Don't roll damage. Don't even bother.
yeah, you have
man.
1 hit point. It hits. And so Branwen collapses unconscious in front of you all. And it
If
is
I had a nickel for every time.
it is
Too bad.
now Randy's turn. Sorry, Willem's. No, I got this right this time. Dunk's turn.
They
It's one
tell
of
you all
us.
3 take crits.
Yeah, I'm running through that portal.
Yeah, now you're
And,
even more doubly surprised because Cena's not there and Branwen is unconscious at Cerebel's feet. Who's it? Who's it? Who's it?
yeah, finding myself in this predicament, I see no other option but to get angry. And let's see what happens when I do so. 34. Oh, I'm healed for 2d8 hit points. Nice.
Nice.
Too bad I can't use that to heal Branwen. But alas,
Alas.
we will swing. 29 to hit. I'm assuming that hits.
Yes, that hits.
Let's see, 10, 13. So 20 physical damage and 2 fire damage.
Okay.
And then 25 to hit.
Okay, that hits.
for another 7 damage, physical damage, and 1 fire damage.
Okay. Alrighty. With that, it is Randy's turn.
Okay. I'm going to I'm gonna walk up calmly and touch Seraphel and cast banishment.
Okay. Charisma saving throw.
It sure is 18.
She fails.
So I don't know where she's going.
And you watch as you kind of like how do you where and how do you touch her? I'm sorry for that framing, but just tell me what you do.
I calmly walk up to her and I just kind of like put my hand on her shoulder and I say,
I'm out.
just fuck off for a little while.
Um,
Cast
she
banishment.
like basically like you place your hand upon her shoulder. She looks up at you with a faint smile as she pops out of existence. The field is quiet.
I'm gonna lean down and lay on hands Branwen and heal her back up. You get 60 hit points.
Where the fuck is Cena?
Cena's in Halicera at the sanctuary. She was going to be killed. They'll take care of her. She'll be okay.
Hey, Randy.
I didn't want to do that, but I figured that was
Where's Seraphel though? Where's
safest.
Seraphel?
She,
Should we be running? Should we be running?
I don't know. She's either going to come back in about 10 seconds or she's somewhere else and I don't know where.
Oh. Fuck.
What plane is Seraphel native to?
I have no
Chicago.
fucking
I don't think we
clue.
know.
Well, she was around before there were planes, if memory serves.
I cast scrying.
Oh, you cast scrying. Okay.
I cast scrying.
I need to take a short break.
Fuck.
We'll be right back.
Friend, you ended the world. Come on, man.
And we're back.
Hello, Christopher.
Hello. Okay. The field remains quiet. Seraphel does not return.
I'm just gonna sit in the sand and cast scrying on Seraphel.
Okay. Wisdom save, correct?
I should pull that up, huh? Or wait. Yes.
What is
Yes?
the save? And you know her intimately, so it's a -7, correct?
She should get a minus.
she was
No, she should get a minus
strangling me
15
Oh.
because we
in
have
the
the black
sky.
feather as well.
Oh, okay, so
And also
minus
she
15.
was just strangling me in the sky, so I think that should give me an extra.
So it's your spell
Minus-
save DC plus 15.
Yeah, so 16 plus 15.
She fails.
Nice!
You, all of you watch as Branwen's eyes kind of glaze over to a white.
I'm so sorry. No, go ahead.
Why do you think I came all this way?
It does say it has to be on the same plane of existence as us
Uh,
for
What?
scrying.
Oh,
you can see nothing.
Sorry, I just teacher, we had homework.
I appreciate that.
but what if you decided to tell us anyway because Seraphel was gloating?
Nay.
Can you make sure Cena's okay?
Yeah. I cast scrying on Cena.
You can see Cena. She can make no save as she is still unconscious, but you can see that she is in the sanctuary of Adara, being tended to by a number of clerics.
Cool.
Um, can you bring us back to Hylicera?
Not until I rest. She's safe though.
Where'd Seraphil go?
I don't know.
Does Adara know? Can you ask Adara or something?
Maybe I would have to rest.
Do we have any more of that magic Colombian marching powder?
I think we might have one more.
You have
Well,
one
might-
you have one
yeah.
serving left.
Of
Yeah.
place scramble. Yeah.
Not bad time to use it, I guess.
Or there's another option, and I will pull the Vizier card out of my sock.
Yo, this session's fucking nuts.
You didn't even say potential for a legendary session this time.
Because I didn't think there would be.
No, you were just gonna throw the big bad evil guy with the entire campaign at us.
Oh, yeah,
Willem
no,
could
that was
redeem
not
himself
planned.
so hard right now.
I look at Willem
Until
and
at
I
least
say,
next
I mean, that's up to you, man.
Tell me what to ask, and I'll ask. And not only will it give us the truthful answer, but if we ask how to do something, it'll tell us how to do it to the best of its ability.
Can we do a combo question? Can we say where did she go and how do we get there? You know, just in case. I don't want.
I mean, I feel like no. I think we just need to know where did she go and how do we.
If
Get
we're doing a combo question, we should probably go, where did she go, how did she get there, and how do we stop her?
We know how she got there. He banished her.
Oh, okay. Where did she go, how do we get there, and how do we stop her?
I mean, I feel like it's an easy answer on how we get there too, teleporting. And if it's the answer that we really, really don't want, I can take us there.
That's true. That's true.
We know how to get there. It's me. Unless you really don't want me to use my Evan Lake powers, because apparently that's evil and bad.
Branwen, is now the time.
I'm gonna go take a walk.
No,
No, wait. I don't know if we can take walks right now.
Remember what happened last time we took a walk? Bad things.
Oh, okay, and now this is my fault.
It's not
No.
No.
It's, whenever we split up, bad things happen. That's all I'm saying. It's nobody's fault. It's nobody's fault. Okay. Tell me what to ask. We can think about this, and I will ask.
DM, can we do a fun little combo question?
There are limits.
Where
But
is
Okay,
Seraphil
how about this?
and how
If
do we
we
stop her?
just asked how do we stop Seraphel? It would tell us the instructions on how to do that, which would necessitate getting to her. Yeah?
Yeah.
Where is
Yeah.
Seraphel and how do we get her to do enemies to allies? Actually, yeah.
I have so many thoughts about that, but Willem's gonna shut the fuck up right now.
Where
Me stuff as a person wants it to be enemies to allies. I really want to team up with Seraphel. Just because I think that'd be really cool.
Um,
we don't know that would give us the answer to where she is, and I do think that is extremely pertinent to what our next decision
All right,
is.
hold on. I'm looking up the exact definition of the card.
At any time, I'll tell you so that you don't look up the other
Yep.
definitions of cards. At any time, you may choose within 1 year of drawing this card to ask a question in meditation and mentally receive a truthful answer to that question. Besides the information, the answer helps you solve a puzzling problem or other dilemma. In other words, the knowledge comes with wisdom on how to apply it.
okay.
That, to me, sounds like it would solve our problem.
All right, man.
Ask it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What am I asking? How do we stop her? How do we get there? How do we defeat her? How do we convince her to join us? How do we save her?
I feel like
How do we
stop her.
stop her?
Okay.
How do we stop Seraphel from continuing
From
with the plan of action that she's on?
How do we
yeah.
stop Seraphel? Yeah, okay. I
I feel like
will
that's vague enough.
enter a meditative trance,
Oh fuck.
thinking of nothing. And then I will think, holding the card. How do we stop Seraphel from the course of action that she is currently on?
Willem, you kind of fall into this meditative state and let the voice of your companions kind of drown out a bit. Only hear the crash of the waves on the deck of the ships that are around you. And suddenly the light kind of starts to fade and you close your eyes. You let the darkness kind of overtake you. The rest of you see Willem in kind of this meditative position, and the card he holds in his hand begin to glow with a faint white light, and any of the intricate artistic details of the card fade away toward a simple block of white light. And Willem, you don't hear a voice, you don't feel anything, you just, your perspective changes. The information in your mind leads you to understand that in order to interrupt Seraphel's course of action, she must be, quote, defeated or saved prior to her reaching the world tree. Um, you kind of ponder on this information and you glean that the place that you know is the material plane is not the material plane at all, but rather a pocket dimension that has been created from the astral sea to protect and house the world tree. And that you were never closer than when you were back home to begin with. And so, where she has been sent, you know her to be right back in Usan.
What?
Um, I will share this information with everybody.
Okay. Here's what we do. Go get our griffins. Randy takes us back to High with Sarah so we can go get Cena. and then we go to the Evan Lake, and I take us back to the material plane.
Yeah.
How long will it take us on the Griffins?
If
How long
I
did it take us to get here?
eat scramble, we can just go back now.
That
'Cause-
was my follow-up. Is that worth it?
We're
Time
gonna
moves
leave this-
faster over there, right? So
I
a
Yeah.
minute here is like, an hour over there or whatever. So we gotta boogie.
Sounds like
I
my time is
cast
really
sending to El Rey. Hey girl, hey. Worst case scenario, Sarah Phil's there. Uh, I don't think I add any more words to that because, yeah.
Um, he responds calmly. What does this mean? And what are we doing?
Um, I use my last higher level spell, which is a 6th level spell, to cast sending one more time. Find her. Stop her. I have no idea. We're gonna get there as soon as we can, but it might not be soon enough. Know any chronomancers?
Yeah.
Only one. How quickly can you get to Voss's?
Fucking-
How quickly can you get to Voss's tower?
Fucking Christ. I can't respond to him. I'm out of spell slots.
I can.
Guys, we need to get to Draken Voss's tower. Just somebody message Draken Voss. We need him. He's a chronomancer.
I will cast sending to Draken Voss. And I'll say,
Speedrun.
I'll just say, I need to learn chronomancy right the fuck now. Can you teach me? Please?
Please, please, please. You hear a voice back in your mind, ready. This is Randy. I can only assume that you've thus procured the brine-bound stone, or at the very least, will return with Ted in tow.
I'll cast sending again. No. But I can make it worth your while.
Tell him Seraphil's out or something, dude.
Seraphil's out. Shit's bad.
I need another brick.
Later
Chris.
point, I guess.
You kind of let that message leave your mind, Randy, and hear only silence in return. Um, and you're kind of left there and wait for seconds, minutes. And it's now been about 10 minutes without a response.
Let's go. Let's.
I think we gotta get. All right, here are the two courses of actions that we can do. Number one, teleport back, do the whole thing, go to the material plane, wing it from there. Number two, do the fucking stealing mission, get the thing, go to Draken Boss, not empty handed. He teaches me chronomancy. We try to figure out this thing with the girl in the orb while we're at it, because that's not okay. Um, again, a lot of winging it's gonna be done. And I think that chronomancer could probably help us in more ways than just my plan.
At the so if we go back to the material plane, we don't know where. Well, what we know as the material plane. Uh, like we don't know where we'd be going.
I could find her pretty
Um,
easily.
yeah, I guess at that point we'd be able to scry.
Can I make a
Um,
suggestion?
Yeah.
You banished Ted, and Ted should be in the same place that Seraphel went, yes?
entirely no.
Mm,
Ted's not native to the same plane as existence, given that he was made by a champion.
it's we don't know. He could have been made
Well,
in
I
a
was
lot of
going to say
different
that
places.
if you can entice Voss with Ted, that might be a way to get him to do what we would like.
There's no way to know where Ted is.
Other than locate object or locate person.
You got to be pretty close for that.
Yeah, the range is pretty bad about that. We could scry
It's
on
like a
him, but
mile.
Aren't you omniscient?
I could. Okay, option 3. I study the scroll for another 3 weeks,
Oh my god. No, that's
and then
not
I
gonna work.
come out of that, and I can
Here,
ask you where Ted is.
if we go back to the Ebon Lake, I can at least figure out where Seraphel is.
Okay,
I'll
oh man,
need a
I
nap.
hate
I'll need
that
a nap before I do it, but
I don't I hate that I'm suggesting this because it is a bad idea. But there's a lot of things that we could do. And I we have a very limited amount of time. What if we all did different things across the world?
Such as
I
ultimate party split.
I could go learn chronomancy. You could do the Ebon Lake thing, make sure that we know where she is and kind of keep tabs on her. And Willem and Dunk
Steal things?
figure out that orb situation and get Draken Voss off our, I don't know, figure something out there.
Somehow this actually seems kind of reasonable.
If we were to do that, I think maybe me and Willem should go with Branwen's the material plane.
I have another idea, which is
Okay.
in the same vein. We need to get Amar, the Earl King, and Draken Voss together to help us.
Okay.
The Earl King pledged that he would help us if you did what he asked, Branwen, didn't he?
Yeah, I did absolutely nothing that he asked.
What exactly did he ask of you?
basically, I forget entirely, but I know that I broke that immediately.
Okay.
Well, then him and
Well,
Draken Boss have something in common. That's good.
hopefully, if his existence is threatened, he might be persuaded to see reason.
I
Or
really love that you're super pro Earl King right now.
I'm
That's not a topic
pro
for right now.
solving the problem. So here's an idea. We get the three of them together. Somehow they give Voss something he wants. Voss releases Amar's daughter, and Amar willingly lets himself be killed by the Earl King.
There's a lot of questions in there. There's a lot of getting people to cooperate
I'm
with each
trying to
other.
think about the most powerful people that we know who stand a chance at helping us.
I understand.
Can I make a proposal?
That's what we're doing. We're brainstorming.
Yeah.
We're spitting
Yes,
away.
no, I'm making a proposal because this is gonna be a conversation that takes place for hours. And I do need to go grocery shopping.
Me as well.
And this will give Krista time to think. What if we all make a little plan proposal and put it in the Discord?
I think we need a Google Doc.
Yeah, can we each make a little plan proposal and then we make a Google Doc so then we can like put all of our ideas into one thing, and then Chris can have some guidance and being like, oh, this is because I think we're all perceiving us being on a very, very short time span, and I don't know how accurate that is. So Chris can correct us as needed with
She
our
still
little
doesn't
plans.
know where the world tree is. Unless she finds Ted, who might also be in the material plane.
Oh, it's not like she can scry or anything.
Oh, she can mega scry. That's like her whole thing. Oh, jokes.
Yes, none of us know where the world tree is. That's so important.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good plan, Branwen. I mean, Steph.
All right. As you're all standing there on the beach, bickering amongst yourselves,
We're not bickering.
We're not
This
bickering.
makes me bickered about
Discoursing.
plans.
Branwen is
brainstorming.
definitely wallowing for sure.
discoursing. Randy.
Come on, man. Haven't we done enough?
I have to. It will equip.
No,
It will
it's cool,
equip
it's
you. The rest of you are kind of like all chatting, and Randy's standing there like debating, kind of waving his hands around. When all of a sudden his eyes go stark silver, not white, not blue, silver, and he immediately collapses to the earth.
Well, shit.
Twitches just a little bit, and a voice speaks through Randy's mouth, one that
He's
none of
possessed by
you
the devil.
recognize. A deep, throaty voice. What have you done?
Oh, fuck.
And the voice speaks in your mind, Randy. The Sororican Mountains. You will know where to find me.
Yeah, it's the champion.
Ah, Valerian. My boy. Or whoever.
And with that,
Come to us. Just tell him to come to us.
we
We're on the
will
beach.
go ahead and end our session there.
Oh,
We thank you all for
God.
tuning in
The beach, let's go get away.
to another episode of Nat20Hot, and look forward to seeing you all for session 79, not on Wednesday, but next Wednesday, the 13th.
We have to deal with this for a week.
We'll
That
look
gives us so
forward
much time
to
to think
seeing
and plan.
where this group goes after an oopsie whoopsie, fucky wucky. And look forward to seeing you all then. Have a great
Is that
week.
the episode title?
Yeah.
God, I should have let myself get like kidnapped or whatever.
No, you
Damn.
shouldn't.
Bye,
I
everyone.
think that would